SouthShore RailCats with a home run this year. Pulfer hit his first last night. Jones has one. Michael Vaughn has one. In the lineup today, only 3 home runs total. For the Goldeyes, Josh Mazzola has 12. He leads the American Association.
It's a bit of a down year in terms of home runs across the league, it seems like. Josh has had a very good first half.
Kogel's pitch is on the corner for a strike.
But we're kind of used to seeing guys around, you know, the Ian Gacks of the world being around 15 to 17 already at about the halfway point. But Josh is having a great year himself.
Having a tremendous year. And what's interesting is Gack isn't in the top 5. And Vinny DeFazio, Stefan Gatrelli, and Brock Kaelgaard. Kaelgaard's off at the Pan Am Games.
Also hitting bombs there.
All have 9.
He's got 2 bombs at the Pan Ams. One as a pinch hitter. Sort of taken the tournament by storm a bit. Not a lot of people know much about Brock Kaelgaard. He's got 2 homers already in limited duty.
In limited duty. You should play him a little more, although Canada's undefeated. 1 strike to Jones. Pitch is high, 1-1.
Yeah, we both know Ernie Witt knows what he's doing, but from what he's seen, he's probably going to be getting a few extra ABs, you would have to think, especially when the games are on the line.
Well, you know how
Canadian
the Pan Am
team,
Games is going to be scouted right now. I'd be surprised to see Kaelgaard come back.
Yeah, fair enough. But he's got to stay in that rhythm a little bit too, right? It's tough to expect a guy to play against either the States or Cuba or Puerto Rico in the semifinal. Expect him to do a good job.
Well, they just beat Cuba, right? 3-1?
Yeah, during the week, yeah. But I mean, if they face one of those high-end teams with good pitching in the semifinal, it's tough to ask a guy to come off the bench and just keep hitting bombs. Rennie Tassoni, the other member of that club, having a good showing at the Pan Ams as well.
1 ball and 1 strike to Jones. Kogel's pitch, foul back. 1-2 to John Jones, who is from Vacaville, California. Played in New Hampshire last year. He's 26 years old. 5'11", 185. That's another thing about this Gary team. They don't hit many home runs. They don't look like home run hitters. They don't have a lot of big guys who look like they're going to bomb it. 1-2, the count to Jones. Pulfer at first, 1 away. Here's the pitch, off speed high, 2-2. First game of this series on Wednesday night. Tony Smith started, went 6 complete. The game ended in 2 hours and 10 minutes. Last night's game, with all those hits and all those pitchers, took 3:33. There's one fouled off. 2-2, the count remains.
And has been a common theme in games when the Goldeyes have not got the strong pitching. The game just kind of went off the rails early, right? 10 men to the plate in the 2nd inning. And the RailCats were off to the races.
They had 15 hits in 4 innings. Goldeyes record most hits allowed in one game by 1 pitcher. It was off the rails early. It was 8-1 in the 3rd. 2-2 the count.
You got to love those. You got to love the high socks.
Absolutely.
That is a fantastic look for the Gary SouthShore RailCats.
2-2 the count to Jones. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive, softly hit up the middle. Cassio Grider won't get there. It's a base hit. They don't hit it very hard, but they hit it where they ain't. Another single for John Jones. 25 singles in 2 games.
Yeah, they count.
They do.
This is a broken bat. Actually, shattered the bat of Jones just enough to get it over Grider's head into shallow center field. One thing for the Goldeyes, they're starting to get players back into position. They've got guys coming back from injury. Nick Jackson's back. He is DHing tonight. But again, you're starting to get guys back in their regular positions now, with the exception of Harther going across the field because of the John Weber move, which we will probably talk about a little bit later on. But
so here's your cleanup hitter. Tonight's cleanup hitter is brought to you by Multi-Material Stewardship of Manitoba. On average, Manitobans recycled nearly 75 kilos per person last year. We can still do more. Find recycling tips and more at simplyrecycled.ca. Michael Vaughn, your cleanup hitter. Your cleanup hitter for this Gary SouthShore RailCats team is hitting 200 with 1 home run and 11 driven in. Gary now has 37 hits in this series. We're 19 innings in. 31 singles. They've had 6 extra base hits. Pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes to Vaughn.
Well, Kogel had been doing a good job of getting ahead of hitters, but not putting them away. Now he finds himself behind 2-0 against the cleanup man.
There's a pitch right down the middle for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Vaughn. Call me crazy, but you got a guy hitting 200, and you're trying to be a corner painter with him. Keep it down, make him hit it on the ground. 2-1 the count. And there's a chopper to third. Harther will go to first to get the runner. Everybody else moves up 90 feet, leaves runners at second and third. And that's exactly what Kobe Kogel needs to do for the rest of this ballgame. That's the pitch.
Yeah, got to pound the strike zone. Real good job.
And low.
Busted him low and in. Harther doing a nice job of charging, throwing across the diamond to Luis Allen, who moves over to first base. The catcher.
Casey Harther, who pitched the 9th inning last night. Another shutout 9th, 2 this season. Off-speed pitch misses. 1 ball and no strikes to Adam Taylor.
That's a weapon you don't want to rely on too often, Scott. But
you know what amazes me?
It's worked out well.
He threw all those pitches in the 9th inning, and he still throws a bullet to first base.
He's got 3 strikeouts in 2 outings, in 2 innings.
Yeah.
He's given up 4 hits, but he's got 3 strikeouts.
He's given up 4 singles.
Could be the next J.D. Faust.
Could be.
Position player to pit rookie pitcher. I think he'd like to hit a few more years, though, before he thinks about that.
2-0 to Adam Taylor. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss off speed pitch. Fools Taylor.
Also not sure he'd like that rookie salary compared to what he's been making.
The rookie pitcher salary, you're right. Yeah, not in this league. I wonder what they do in Nicaragua if Luis Allen said, I'm bringing Casey Harther back, but he's pitching. Pitch low, 3-1 to Adam Taylor. Two away, we're in the first. 3 balls and 1 strike to the number 5 hitter in the lineup, Adam Taylor. Runners at second and third. Kogel trying to get off the hook here. Here's the pitch. Way inside, and we'll score a run. It'll be a wild pitch. And here comes a second run. 2-run score on the wild pitch. They may give it a pass ball to Babineau because it was high and inside. I thought it hit the bat, but it hit Babineau's equipment.
I thought it hit the batter.
Scored. So did I.
This was a very odd sequence of events here, but that is just, you cannot allow a guy to score from second base.
I'm going to say it's a pass ball, but we haven't got an official.
Oh, he missed the target.
He missed it.
Oh, it hit the ump in the
umpire's mask.
Babineau's trying. He's not listening to Kogel. Kogel's trying to tell him where he is. Well, that's why it made the sound. What a bizarre sequence. The runner from third was going to score easily, but outstanding hustle to score from second base. Whether it was a wild pitch or a pass ball, that's heads-up base running. And that's just not acceptable. Kogel doing his job, trying to communicate with Babineau. That's just one of the most bizarre plays we've seen here this season. And there have been plenty of them.
Plenty of bizarre plays. So 2-run score on the pass ball. And there's a pop-up. That's foul. Probably get out of play. It will. Quickly, 2 strikes to Michael Schroeder, the 6th hitter. Adam Taylor drew a walk, by the way, on the pass ball.
Here, let's look one more time. Oh, he does. It looked like it hit the glove and then the mask, does it not?
Yeah, I think it does. It hits the mask. It doesn't even hit the glove. It missed the glove. 2 strikes to Schroeder. 2 runs in. Here's Kogel's pitch, and it's high for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at second. Stolen base, by the way, for Adam Taylor to get into scoring position. One and 2, the count to Schroeder. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip. Babineau can't hold on. Count remains 1 and 2.
Not going very smoothly for the battery here so far.
It's kind of embarrassing. Ball and 2 strikes to Schroeder.
It's ruled a pass ball officially.
It is officially a pass ball. I thought so. At first, I thought it might have been a wild pitch, but he should have made that play.
Kogel also did miss the target
by a lot. By a great amount. One ball and 2 strikes to Schroeder. Kogel gets the sign. There's the pitch, and he almost hit him. 2 and 2. Two runs score on 1 pass ball, and it's 2-0 Gary. There goes the runner. There's the pitch, fouled off.
Oh, nice job by the youngster.
Great catch.
Got himself a souvenir.
Tremendous catch. And good for him. 2 and 2 to Schroeder. Adam Taylor's out at second base, 2 away. Kogel delivers, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Kobe Kogel strikes out Michael Schroeder, his first strikeout of the ball game, and that ends the inning. But 2 runs on 2 singles. There were no errors, but a pass ball. 1 man was left on base. Adam Taylor drew a walk. We played a half an inning. It's Gary 2, Winnipeg coming to bat. This is Goldeyes Baseball live on Shaw TV.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG.
Welcome back to the ballpark. The RailCats starting defensive alignment brought to you by Taco Time with 3 locations here in Winnipeg at 23 Marion Street, 2371 Ness Avenue, or 1353 McPhillips. Michael Vaughn is the catcher. Michael Schroeder is the first baseman. Sam Lind is at second. Ryan Brockett is at short. Roger Bernal is at third. Adam Taylor's in left field. John Jones is in center, and Drew Martinez starts in right. Charlie Rosario is the pitcher. The RailCats starting defensive alignment is brought to you by Taco Time. 3 locations to serve you in Winnipeg. Tonight's RailCats starting pitcher is just red hot. It's brought to you by Shaw On Demand. Visit us online at shaw.ca. Tell us about Charlie Rosario.
Rosario's got a Boston Red Sox draft pick. Boy, oh boy, what a year he's having. He is the clear-cut ace of the staff, as you see right there. 8-3, 346 earned run average. He'll throw you 88 to 92 on the fastball, throws a changeup, and he also throws your favorite pitch, the slurve.
The slurve.
It's the mixture of the slider and the curveball. 20 2/3 scoreless innings is his current streak. So he's not quite at Zach Greinke levels, but he is the reigning American Association Pitcher of the Week, and he has given a lot of teams in this league trouble, including the Goldeyes.
Sure has. The RailCats starting pitcher Charlie Rosario is brought to you by Shaw On Demand with more than 10,000 on-demand titles. You won't miss a thing. Goldeyes starting lineup is brought to you by Pembina Chrysler Dodge Jeep, proud supporter of your Winnipeg Goldeyes. Visit us at PembinaChrysler.com. Leading it off is Adam Heisler, followed by Cassio Grider, Casey Harther. Josh Mazzola hits 4th, Brad Boyer 5th. Ryan Babineau is the number 6 hitter. Nick Jackson hits 7th, Chris Robinson 8th. And Luis Allen bats 9th and plays first base. So here's Adam Heisler to lead it off for the Goldeyes. First pitch by Rosario was right down the middle for strike 1.
Rosario spent 6 seasons in the Red Sox organization.
On foul back, no balls and 2 strikes to Heisler. Adam Heisler has been a tremendous addition to this ball club. He's batted 9th in the lineup, 2nd in the lineup, and 1st in the lineup. Early in the season, he batted 3rd and 4th. There's one fouled off. He has been versatile and done a great job in center field, especially with Nick Jackson hurt. Now, Nick Jackson is in the lineup tonight, batting in the 7th spot and DHing.
Spoke with Nick before the game. He's pretty excited to be back in there. It's been a long road back for him. Said it definitely took longer than he was anticipating, but said the key is to have a lot of patience. He said if you come back off the disabled list after such a long stretch and have a good first outing, it's pretty much dumb luck. So you got to just get back into the rhythm and the routine of things.
There's a line shot into the corner. That should be 2 for Heisler. With his speed, it might be 3. Heisler's looking, and he's thinking third base, and he gets the halt from Rick Forney. But boy, he was looking at that go into the corner, and he was thinking 3. Adam Heisler with a double.
Very wise call by Forney to throw up the stop sign. You just gave up 2 runs in the top of the first inning. You do not want to get thrown out here at third base on being a little bit too over-aggressive. Great job by Heisler dumping it into the corner. Right fielder does a pretty good job of playing it and getting the ball in. And again, Heisler, even with the great speed, you just do not want to run the risk of getting thrown
That's the
out.
Goldeyes' first hit of the ball game, brought to you by the University of Winnipeg this year. The Goldeyes leading hitter will win the Tear the Cover Off the Ball trophy presented by the UW. The current leader is Josh Mazzola, hitting .316. Adam Heisler moves up to about 300 with that double. There's quite a battle, and there's a pop-up foul. It will drop harmlessly away from catcher Michael Vaughn. Cassio Grider comes in hitting .323. He's been hurt too, out about 5 weeks.
He had that abdominal injury there.
He has 2 home runs, driven in 6. Cassio Grider almost has as many home runs as the Gary SouthShore RailCats, and he is what they would call the base hit hitting shortstop. Grider squares, and it's a nice bunt. Good job by Grider, and he's got speed. He will beat that one out. Grider has tremendous speed. Heisler goes on to third. It's a sac bunt that turns into an infield single. What an effort by Cassio Grider.
Outstanding hustle, Scott. Great job. You know, again, he's been struggling a little bit at the plate since coming back from the injury. Does a nice job of getting the bunt down, and as soon as it died like that, you knew it was going to be very close. Rosario makes a good throw across the diamond, but Grider was already there. And in case the umpire was unaware, Grider wanted to help him by signaling himself safe at that play right there. Great hustle right there by Grider.
Here's Casey Arthur with runners at first and third. A 20 2/3 innings consecutive scoreless streak is on the line right now.
Well, we can confirm Grider was right with the call. With the benefit of the replay.
Called himself. There goes Grider to second. It's fouled off. Hit and run on. Arthur hits. Uh-oh. Oh, you're not out there.
No, not today. Luckily.
Whoa. That's going to hurt somebody's car. Fender bender, rear ender. Remember, Mako Collision Repair and Auto Painting at 983 Wall Street, Canada's body shop.
Grider has the great speed, went right away. He's got 5 steals, been caught twice this year. Trying to get himself in a scoring position for Arthur.
Rosario checks the runner. Heisler's at third, nobody out. And Rosario doesn't like what he sees at first base.
Well, it's one thing to have an extended pause, but it was a little bit excessive for all parties.
Home plate umpire tonight, Joey Stagner. First base umpire Bobby Feaster. Kyle Galuba's at third. There goes the runner. Grider slides. He is safe. Cassio Grider steals second base. There was no doubt on anybody in this ballpark that Grider was going.
Great hustle. Watch the slide, though. A little bit, it sort of comes up short a bit, I thought, Scott. He kind of... Ooh,
That was very close.
it was very close.
And he called himself safe again.
Yes, he did.
So a steal
Looked like
at
his
second
leg
by
kind of
Grider.
got... It caught in a little bit early. I'm not sure he quite got to the bag before the throw, but it's a 6th stolen base nonetheless. Goldeyes have 2 men in scoring position.
There's a line shot base hit for Casey Arthur. Grider's going to be held at third base. Heisler will score. Runners will be on the corner still. An RBI single for Casey Arthur going the opposite way. And it's 2-1. So much for Charlie Rosario's 20 2/3 innings
Well, there
of
you go.
scoreless baseball.
Good job by Martinez charging the ball. Because it was hit, got to the field so quickly, Grider had to stop at third. Again, don't want to run yourself out of a potential big inning.
Here comes Josh Mazzoli, tonight's cleanup hitter, brought to you by Multi-Material Stewardship of Manitoba. On average, Manitobans recycled nearly 75 kilograms per person last year. We can still do more. Find recycling tips and more at simplyrecycle.ca. First pitch to Mazzola is low for ball 1.
Last earned run allowed by Rosario, Scott, back on July 3rd in a 2-0 loss to the Kansas City T-Bones, where he went 6 strong innings, gave up 5 hits, walked 1, and struck out 5.
So runners on the corners with still nobody out. Mazzola digs in. Here's the pitch, and it's popped up at a mile in the air. Great pitch by Rosario. Handling it quite easily is the first baseman, Michael Schroeder. And Mazzola is the first out of the inning. Infield fly rule in effect. And here comes Brad Boyer.
Yeah, Mazzola just missed it. The one thing we should watch here, Greg Taggart was curious himself. They go with that 4-man rotation. So most times in the rotation you have short rest. This time Rosario is on extended rest. Last pitched on July 11th. So it's a bit of an adjustment for him compared to what he's been doing this year. And last year was only his first time as a full-time starter, and he was limited to those 7 starts with the Schaumburg Boomers.
First pitch by Rosario to Brad Boyer is low for ball 1.
And why did he only make 7 starts? Because he suffered a season-ending concussion. He was nailed with a line drive in the dugout. Very bizarre. Greg Taggart told me the story before the game. What a terrible way to end your season. You finally get in the rotation and you get knocked out by a concussion.
There's a pop-up again. That's going to be playable. Over to get it is the third baseman. And Greider is in trouble. And Greider is caught. Cassio Greider has run the Goldeyes out of the inning. Greider thought about tagging and coming home as Boyer fouls out to the third baseman, Roger Bernal. And Greider is cut down by Bernal.
Well, Greider thought he saw an opening. The pitcher, Rosario, did not cover home plate initially, and because the third baseman is the guy who makes the play, he thinks he can get back to the bag before him. But again, because of that abdominal injury, it looked like when he tried to plant, he got himself caught. He was too far off the base, strayed too far, and the Goldeyes do indeed run themselves out of a potentially big inning, though they do get 1 run back.
They got a run back, but boy, they should have put more up. We've finished 1 inning. For the Goldeyes in the first, a run on 3 hits, no errors, and just 1 man left. It's Gary 2, Winnipeg 1. This is Goldeyes Baseball, and it's live on Shaw TV.
You're watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
All right, here we go. Sports talk, back on the air, back on Shaw TV. I feel alive, I feel great. I can take on anyone at all. Let's go. Except for that guy. Lots of action in that first inning, Scott and Ken. We want to see some action on Twitter as well, at Shaw TV Winnipeg. Use the hashtag Let's Play WPG. We want to see all your pictures and your tweets, and stay tuned for our trivia question. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks, Mike Valente, and thanks, Ken Weed, for showing up today. Nice to see you.
Happy to be here.
It's always good to see you in the ballpark.
Nice drive back from Clear Lake.
Yeah, how was your golf game?
Pretty solid. 89 today. At Clear Lake, that's pretty good for me.
Pretty good for you.
Course in just magnificent shape. And I played Poplar Ridge yesterday for the first time.
How'd you like it?
I liked it. Played it in a speedy 245 yesterday.
That's nice. Isn't that fun? Here's the first pitch by Kogel to Roger Bernal, who leads it off, the third baseman. He makes the big play, the unassisted double play to end the inning, and he'll lead it off here in the second. Bernal hitting 242, and there's a ground ball right back up the middle for a base hit. Well, for a team that came into this series hitting below the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks, they've now since moved ahead.
Well, 28 hits will do that.
But 28, and already 3 tonight. So Bernal leads off with a single. That's 32 singles and 38 hits in this series. All 3 singles tonight. Pitch just misses. Ball 1 to Sam Lind. Lind is the second baseman tonight. He comes in hitting 125. Kogel delivers. Misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Scott, we mentioned earlier, John Weber released by the Goldeyes. Was hitting pretty well, but just didn't seem to be the right fit, I guess, for right now.
I think that was basically the term I heard from the clubhouse today. There's one foul back. 2 balls and a strike.
Hit .329 for the Goldeyes in those 38 games. No homers, 19 ribbies.
You have to know there's a problem with the fit when a guy with 19 RBIs in 38 games is removed from the situation. Pitch is high. 3 balls and 1 strike to Sam Lind.
Does open up a spot on the roster, though, for Nick Jackson as well.
It did. Nick we'll see Nick in the next inning. He'll hit in the second spot. 3 balls and 1 strike to Sam Lind. Got to be careful with this guy. He's hitting 125. There goes the runner. It's high for ball 4. So Lind draws a walk. On to second goes Roger Bernal. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Ryan Brockett. And here comes Rick Forney to have a chat with Kobe Kogel. First of all, walks drive Rick crazy. Second of all, walking a guy hitting 125 makes him even crazier.
Well, when you fall behind 2-0 on a pass ball, which allows 2 runs to score, you get 1 back on the board, strand 2, or essentially you only strand 1 because you get tagged out at third on a double play ball on a foul out. I think the manager's not feeling, you're feeling some anger.
Notice who's doing all the talking right now.
He was very encouraging there, and
he's always encouraging. But the encouragement is,
we just got you back in the ball game. Let the defense try to help you out behind you. Just a simple message. Just pound the zone.
Pound the zone. Think about what Tony Smith did on Wednesday night. Tony Smith went 6 innings of shutout baseball.
Converted starter.
Converted guy.
This
from
is
the
a
relief.
reliever.
Yeah, we got a relief pitcher. Squaring to bunt was Brockett. It was high for ball 1.
Goldeyes going to run the 31 defense.
They are.
Luis Allen coming from first. Casey Harther will hold his position just in case Ryan Babineau can field something to the third base side and still throw him out at third on the force out if possible.
Ball 2 from Kogel. So he walks the 8 hitter and he goes to 2-0 on the 9 hitter. Ryan Brockett, who comes in hitting .308. He has 14 runs driven in. Of course, no home runs.
I wonder if Greg Taggart takes off the sacrifice at 2-0 and gives him 1 swing right here. I know he is the number 9 hitter, but everyone's expecting a bunt, and he's probably going to throw you a cookie right here.
It was on the corner.
Left
2 balls and 1 strike.
Could have been a straight take, though, as well.
Very well could have been.
For years, we've seen the RailCats. They thrive on the fundamentals. They want to get sacrifice bunts down, put pressure on the defense, get things going that way.
Kogel kicks and delivers, and there's a bunt right back to the mound. It'll be an easy play at first base for Kogel. Brad Boyer gets the job done, and there's the first out of the inning. It's a sacrifice bunt for Brockett. And we'll go back to the top of the lineup and J.D. Pulfer. So runners now on second and third with 1 away, and here's Pulfer.
When you fall behind 2-0 in that situation, this feels like a win, getting it out on the sacrifice for the Goldeyes. Kogel fields his position nicely, makes sure to make a good throw over to first. Boyer fields it, well, it's low, but he fielded it nicely.
Pulfer's had a great series. Already has a single in this ball game. 1 for 4 in the opener and 4 for 6 last night. Pitch misses outside. 6 for 11 in the series.
Including that pivotal home run in the second, right? He had the 3-run homer that sort of blew the game right open.
The 5th home run of the year for the Gary SouthShore RailCats.
and first multi or RBI homer. First non-solo homer, if you will.
This one fouled off the roof. 1-1, the count to Pulford.
That's also odd. 51 games to get your first home run that was not a solo shot.
Out on second base is Sam Lind. At third is Roger Bernal. Kogel delivers. Swing and a miss. 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Kogel. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pulford. A strikeout for Kogel would work right here. It's a big pitch at 1-2. Kogel gets the sign from Babineau. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop Greider. He'll go to first and get Pulford. In to score comes Roger Bernal, and on to third base goes Sam Lind.
Good job by Pulford. Battled. He saw the way the defense was positioned. Corners were playing in, but the middle infield was playing back. Ground ball up the middle. All he had to do was put it on the ground. And he gets himself an RBI, and the RailCats restore the two-run cushion. Greider fields it cleanly. But since he was playing back, he couldn't think about going home. He had to go to first for the sure out.
Here's Drew Martinez, and the first pitch from Kogel is fouled off for strike 1. Lind is at third, 2 away. Here's Kogel's pitch. Swing and a foul tip. Strike 2. Quickly, Kogel gets ahead of Drew Martinez. So 2 good pitches from Kogel.
Martinez.
Now, I'm just going to throw something out at you. Back when Brockett was at the plate and everybody in the park knew he was bunting.
Yep.
I think Kogel throws 2 pitches high, hoping he's going to pop it up.
It's certainly possible. I think sometimes you think so much about the fielding elements that have to come after the bunt is down that maybe he was just a little bit erratic, but you also could maybe throw a pitch out there as well.
Good job by Babineau. It's a ball in the dirt, but Babineau did a great job of making sure that it didn't go all the way to the backstop.
Sometimes if you do sort of pitch out in that area, not a traditional pitch out, but if you throw it high, you might get the runner going too far. Here, let's have a look here. This is pretty close on the check swing. Maybe he held back. It was pretty close. He did hold up.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Martinez. Kogel's pitch, and there's a little one hopper that'll be, and Greider mishandled it. He mishandled it. The run will score. It's an error to Cassio Greider.
I think that was another shattered bat. There's a lot of spin on that. This is a play, again, needs to be made, but let's have a look. Look at how this ball spins after it hits the dirt. Again, Greider's the first guy to tell you should make the play, but look at the side spin here. Kind of handcuffed him. Greider coming back from injury. He played a lot of the year at second base before he was hurt. He did move over to short before the injury. Costly error puts another run on the board for the RailCats here.
4-1 now for Gary. They don't even have to get the ball out of the infield to score runs. 2 runs scored on a pass ball in the first inning. And 2 runs score on ground balls.
It's the
1 is handled and 1 isn't.
6th error of the year for Greider, Scott.
This is John Jones, the number 3 hitter in the lineup. Pitch misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Jones.
Tough for Kogel there. He did his job, got the ground ball that he needed. Greider was positioned perfectly.
The bat was broken. The ball wasn't hit very hard at all. It's just a real good pitch by Kogel.
Just handcuffed him. Again, it's not like Greider's playing out of position, even though he started the year at a different position. He was signed as a shortstop.
Yes, he always thought himself as a shortstop.
He does enjoy second base and outfield as well, but he is a natural shortstop.
Pitches high, 3 balls and no strikes to Jones.
And again, now you see the disappointment from Kogel. He should be out of the inning, and now you're behind 3-0 to the next batter. Got to shake that off and try to move on to the next guy.
Pitches low for ball 4. So another walk. That's the 3rd walk of the ball game given up by Kogel.
Oh, we talked about it earlier, Scott. The walks have gotten Kogel in trouble in recent outings. 7 in the last 2 previous outings against Ottawa and St. Paul, and now 3 tonight already, and we're in the top of the second.
There's Rick Forney, obviously concerned about his starting pitching. He's been getting great performances from Nick Hernandez, solid from Matt Jackson. Tony Smith has been the surprise of the year. Kyle Anderson had a tough outing last night. Pitch by Kogel is outside, and Kobe Kogel, who thought he was out of the inning, has now thrown 5 straight pitches out of the strike zone.
And the struggles for Anderson have been a major surprise. He was a dominant pitcher at the start of last year for the Goldeyes, got signed by the Arizona Diamondbacks, got kind of shuffled between levels and roles. It seemed like his mechanics are a little bit out of whack. Just doesn't seem like the same pitcher he was last year.
1 ball and no strikes. There's a pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 to Michael Vaughn. Runners at first and second. 2 runs in this second inning. 4 runs on just 3 hits for the RailCats. Vaughn digs in. There's a ground ball to Harther. He'll just take it to third base, and that'll do it. The Goldeyes get out of the inning finally, but they give up 2 more runs. This time on just 1 hit, there was an error. A couple of walks didn't help. There was 2 men left on base. We played an inning and a half. It's Gary 4, Winnipeg 1. This is Goldeyes Baseball. Scott Taylor, Ken Weed, Mike Valente here at Shaw Park.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG.
If you are a part of a charitable organization and would like to attend a game courtesy of the Winnipeg Goldeyes Community Zone and its supporters, call the Goldeyes office at 982-2273. Winnipeg Goldeyes, working in our community.
1 in 4 deaths on Manitoba roads involves a distracted driver. Texting and driving is illegal, and it could cost you a $200 fine, 5 demerits, or your life. Please don't text and drive. A message from Manitoba Public Insurance and your Winnipeg Goldeyes. We go to the bottom of the second inning for the Goldeyes. It'll be Ryan Babineau, Nick Jackson, and Chris Robinson. There's Matt Jackson with the beard in the Goldeyes dugout. He's had a couple of great outings. So, before the game, Ryan Babineau sat down and had a conversation with Mike Valente. Here's that interview with Ryan Babineau.
Well, they battle. I played with Gary for a couple years, and the mentality is play all 27 or however many outs in that game it takes. They never quit. The game's never over until it's over. They see a lot of pitches, so they make it difficult for the starter. You got to work ahead. You can't get behind with these guys. You're feeding right into their game. So it's important tonight that Calgill gets on the bump and pounds the strike zone, and gives the defense a chance to work, and hopefully we can get him some runs.
He's absolutely right. Everything he said was absolutely correct, and it's all come out that way. With 3 walks and an error, you've given up 4 runs in 2 innings. 3 walks, a pass ball, and an error. There's a ground ball. Easy play at third base for Bernal. Fires across the diamond. Babineau is the first out of this second inning.
Yeah, when you fall behind, you play right into Gary's game. They'll force you into further mistakes. Another classic example happened last inning.
But once again, it's not like Gary came out and beat you early.
Oh, and they're not tearing the cover off it either.
They've allowed the Goldeyes to beat themselves. 3 early walks, an error, a pass ball that gives up 2 runs. That's beating yourself. And just first pitch to Jackson is in there for a strike.
Only 1 of the 4 runs is earned.
That's right.
3 unearned runs.
Jackson back after 5 weeks out of the lineup. Almost 5 weeks.
They're avoidable mistakes is the
exactly
underlying
unforced
theme.
Errors. There's a ground ball handled easily by the second baseman Lind. He fires to first and quickly 2 away for the Goldeyes. Rosario has come in and pounded the strike zone.
Oh, and he was in some serious trouble.
Serious trouble.
First and third with 1 run in and no out. First and third, 1 run in, nobody out. And he got out of it with only one run allowed.
Here's Chris Robinson, the Canadian rookie who has played terrific baseball. He's hitting .296. He has a homer. He's driven in 5. The other night he got a single with 2 out that ended up turning into a run. Rick Forney was all over how important that single was, basically because Luis Allen is the number 9 hitter. He doesn't like to have Luis lead off an inning. Luis is not a speedy base runner. And when Robinson got the hit with 2 out, and then that brought up Luis, who doubled, Robinson scored on Wednesday night, and Forney was just thrilled. I think he's very, very happy with the way this Canadian youngster, who was playing in the Inter-County League, he was at Moorhead State University.
What a great find.
He's been tremendous. 1-2 the count. That misses. 2-2. He's shown a lot of confidence at the plate.
Doing a decent job in the outfield, too. Not his natural position.
It's funny, he looks occasionally not particularly confident, but he makes the plays. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Easy play for Brockett, and that does it.
Good hustle, though.
Hustles all the time. Another great thing about Chris Robinson. 3 up, 3 down for the Goldeyes in the second. We'll go to the third. It's Gary 4, Winnipeg 1. This is Goldeyes Baseball live on Shaw TV.
You're watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
Oh, one thing. I'm a big fan of tacos, so it'd just be tacos. I'm a big Mexican guy. Pet peeve, I'm a neat freak, so when people leave stuff out laying around that shouldn't be there, I'm going to kind of go behind them and clean it up because I can't stand that stuff. Probably when I was 6 years old, rushing for my first touchdown when I was a quarterback sneak, ran about 50 yards, and it seemed like watching the highlights, it was probably about 20 seconds long to run that far. So. Time machine. That's a tough one. I would probably go back to when we just came from Fargo, so I'd go back to when Roger Maris hit the home run to get number 61 to pass the Babe. If I won the lottery today, I'd probably go buy a sports team and then make myself coach/player.
That's tremendous. I'd do the same thing. I'd buy the Goldeyes, and if I won the $55 million in the Lotto Max,
And you'd
tonight,
institute yourself as the
I'd introduce
DH?
myself as DH and manager. Rick would be my assistant manager.
Oh, I thought you'd be the... Oh, there you go.
I got to have Rick around because he knows more about baseball than me.
Oh, he sure does. I'm not sure he'd go for the new arrangement, though.
Well, if I gave him a raise, he probably would. Leading it off for Gary here in the third inning, it's Adam Taylor. It'll be Taylor, Schroeder, and Bernal.
You still got rookie status here, by the way.
I still have rookie status, and I have rookie status for 2 years in this league. I still have a year of college eligibility. I might go back to Guelph. Tom Kent will be happy to see me, wouldn't he? Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Adam Taylor.
I think they've changed the eligibility rules.
No, it was 5 years then. It's 5 years now.
I know, but
You're talking about
there's
the
an age
part.
restriction.
The age
Yes.
restriction now. Yeah, probably. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Adam Taylor. Here's Kogel's pitch. It's fouled off. 1-2. The Goldeyes and RailCats go at it again tomorrow. 6 o'clock is the start time here at Shaw Park. 6 o'clock, downtown Winnipeg. And then the Goldeyes head off for their toughest stretch of the season. 4 in St. Paul and 4 in Kansas City. You split that, you've done it. You've been tremendous. Pitch by Kogel, there's a fly ball into short right field. Coming on is Josh Mazzola. He makes the catch easily for the first out here in the third. Josh Mazzola's played just about everywhere, hasn't he? First, short, third, right field, left field this season already.
I think talking to Rick the one day about Josh and his versatility, he said the only kind of place he is not real comfortable is second base and probably catcher. He could probably play catcher. He's got
Probably
kind of
could.
that good attitude.
There's a line shot at Mazzola. Oh, he couldn't handle it. He thought he had it. Going on to second base is Schroeder. Here's the play at second, and Schroeder is out. He tried to stretch it, and Cassio Grider got him. Great throw by Mazzola. Mazzola has a gun.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the argument. Let's have a look at the replay, obviously, but that is just a solid throw. I think the runner was so surprised by the throw that he was complaining that he was called out. Good piece of hitting, and Mazzola kind of lost.
That's the fly ball. That was the fly ball.
Oh,
that was the first out of the inning. We're one behind.
Real good throw by Mazzola.
Tremendous throw by Mazzola. Outstanding throw. So Michael Schroeder is out at second base. That's 2 away. Turns out to be another single. 33 singles in this series. There's Kogel's pitch, and there's a ground ball to Harthrop third. He handles it, fires it across the diamond, and that'll do it. So it turns out to be 3 up, 3 down, no runs, a hit. A single tried to stretch to a double, got thrown out. No errors, nobody left on base. Here it goes.
Looked like Mazzola kind of did lose it, but nice hustle to pick it up, and then without it, just a great one-hop throw.
Oh, he got him, yeah. Great job by Cassio
I guess
Grider.
he might have thought he got to the corner of the bag, but really good throw by Mazzola nonetheless.
Great throw by Mazzola. The Goldeyes get out of the inning. Nothing across. It's still 4-1 Gary. This is Goldeyes baseball on Shaw.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG.
I'm Melissa Boychuk, and I'm your personal trainer. Join us for Community Classroom, your personal trainer where I lead you through a 30-minute workout for all fitness levels. Community created on Shaw TV, Channel 9.
Chiropractors in Manitoba are passionate about the services they provide. Over the years, they've developed health and wellness programs for the public that provide preventative approaches to avoiding pain and improving daily performance. One of those programs, Straighten Up Manitoba, will help improve posture, stabilize core muscle groups, enhance health, and prevent problems with your spine. Complete the exercises when you have 3 free minutes anytime during your day. And if you're at Shaw Park, you will see those exercises. Our Shaw Park fan services reps do them right out in the field in the 4th inning. So for the Goldeyes in the bottom of the 3rd, it'll be the number 9 hitter, Luis Allen, then back to the top of the order, and Adam Heisler and Cassio Grider. One strike to Luis. Allen comes in hitting .273. It's been quite a year for Luis Allen. He has the franchise record now in hits and runs batted in. There's a pitch that misses, 1-1. He is still a couple of doubles short of Phelan Lantini's team record. Allen has 128 doubles. He's still 2 back. There's a pitch that's in there for a strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luis.
Allen having a good homestand, Scott. 4 for 13. 2 homers, 4 driven in.
And there's a long fly ball into left field. Will it stay fair? It does, and it's gone. Luis Allen's 3rd home run in this homestand, and the Goldeyes cut the lead to 4-2 as Luis Allen gets it just inside that peak of the market foul pole. And Luis has crushed it. Home run number 4 this season for Luis Allen. And this home run is brought to you by Home Run Sports. Home Run Sports at $20 Seigneurie Boulevard, bringing you all the home runs this season here at Shaw Park, and that one was crushed by Luis. That was gone when it left his bat. The only question was, does it stay fair?
You're absolutely right. And this is actually a pretty good pitch. He busted him in, but what a great job by Allen to get the barrel out and to keep it inside the foul pole, as you mentioned. How about this burst of power from Luis Allen? 3 of his 4 homers coming on this homestand.
Playing first base, not catching every night. That might be helping.
Certainly would help the legs and a little bit of generation of power from there.
Here's Adam Heisler. The count's 1-1. Goldeyes cut the lead to 4-2 on the solo homer by Luis Allen here in the 3rd inning. There's a line drive base hit. Heisler with another single. A single and a double tonight. Solid single the opposite way by Adam Heisler. He's pushed that average up over 300. And he and I are the same. We would both buy a sports franchise and put ourselves in charge.
Nice job by Heiser. Inside outs hit it to left field. And again, you got to be aware here. It's another bunting situation for the Goldeyes. Even though you're down 2, Greider has the great speed. He may be able to beat it out like he did last time.
Yep.
But he may take a pitch or two to see if Heiser can steal it on his own as well with none out here. So we know he's got the great wheels over at first.
Bernal at 3rd figures this thing is going to be bunted because he is right in on the infield grass.
16 steals already for Heiser this year, been caught 4 times in the 50 games.
So the discussion at the mound between the catcher Michael Vaughn and the pitcher Charlie Rosario is over. Greider digs in. He has a bunt single. Made a base running error. Ended up caught in a double play at 3rd base. A rare pop fly foul caught by 5-5. There's a pop up on the infield. Bernal is called off by Brockett, and Brockett makes the catch.
Yeah, the rare F05 5 unassisted double play.
Doesn't happen often.
I don't believe I've seen it before. At least not in person.
No, I don't think I have either. Here's Casey Harther. Maybe he can do what his buddy Luis did. Casey Harther, of course, this offseason played winter ball in Nicaragua with Luis Allen, as we mentioned earlier. I can't imagine Luis would tell them in Nicaragua, I'm bringing Casey back, but as a pitcher. Runner at first, 1 away.
Well, you can never have enough pitching, Scott, though.
True enough. Harther singled his first trip and drove in the Goldeyes' first run.
As much as he enjoys the mop-up duty, I'm pretty sure he would prefer to be staying off the rubber for the remainder of the season.
Rosario checks the runner. There goes Heisler. Swing and a miss. Throw is in the dirt, and Heisler has stolen second base. 17th steal of the season. Mike Valente, where are you, Michael?
We're in the Goldeyes dugout right now, moments away from interviewing Rick Forney. We just want to tell everyone watching on Shaw TV that go on Twitter, go on social media, tag us at Shaw TV Winnipeg. We want to see all your pictures and your tweets. Use the hashtag Let's Play WPG.
Great hustle there by Heiser. You saw a look at that nice Ricky Henderson-esque head-first slide into second base.
Pitch to Harther is in there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Casey. Casey protecting the runner did a good job swinging and missing at that pitch. Heisler had plenty of time to get in there.
Last one was an 85-mile-an-hour slider from Rosario right there. Pretty live arm.
0-2, the count to Harther. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball the other way. This one will not get through. Good job by Lind. He throws out Harther, and on to third base goes Heisler. But a very productive out. That's the one thing that Casey's done, is hit the ball the opposite way both times at the plate.
And this ball's about 1 bounce and some overspin away from being through, and it might have scored him. It wasn't hit very hard. It was off the end of the bat, but because they were playing him up the middle. Man, nice play by the second baseman right there, Sam Lind, throwing across the body to get him at first. Good stretch. That was nearly an RBI single.
So runner at third now with 2 out. Here's Mazzola. Pitch by Rosario. It's high, ball 1. Mazzola popped out to first in his first trip tonight. Came in as the team's leading hitter at .316. 12 homers. That leads the league. 33 RBIs, tied with Casey Harther for the team lead. Pitch by Rosario, foul back, 1-1 the count. Josh Mazzola has some big numbers. He is second in the league in total bases, 110. He leads in home runs. He is third in extra base hits with 24, and third in slugging percentage at .579. So a big season for Josh Mazzola.
He could tie it with one swing right here.
It's in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Good crowd at the ballpark tonight. Probably about 6, I would think. 55, 6,000. Lots of folks in the Sky Suites. Series ends tomorrow, 6 o'clock start time on Saturday. Rosario gets the sign. It's 2-1. Count Mazzola. Here's the pitch. There's a shot in the left field, but right at Adam Taylor. Barely had to move.
Just didn't get the lift. Good contact, but didn't get the lift.
Goldeyes get a run on a couple of hits. There was no errors and a runner stranded at third base. We've played 3 complete. It's the Gary SouthShore RailCats 4, the Winnipeg Goldeyes 2. This is Goldeyes Baseball Live right here on Shaw TV.
You're watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
Here with Rick Forney. Rick, every game for the Goldeyes this season versus Gary, it's been very high scoring, at least 6 runs in each of those games. How much of the message to your team is just to stay disciplined?
Well, today it's been a huge problem. I mean, we've allowed them 2 runs on a pass ball, and we allowed them a 3rd run on an error from our shortstop. But the biggest thing right now is we need our starting pitcher to control the pace by throwing more strikes. And if he does that, then it's a little easier to play defense behind him. So we've put ourselves in a little bit of a hole. It's nice to get a home run right there to close the gap a little bit, and just got to start cashing in our chips.
And along that same vein, you know, I don't have to tell you that, you know, standings in baseball can change over a matter of days. How important is it to close out these series at home?
Well, there's no doubt. We've been struggling at home, but at this point where we're at in the season, it's wherever we're playing here in our white uniforms or on the road in our gray uniforms, we got to play a lot better and start winning some games.
Thanks very much. Rick Forney, everybody. Back to you, Scott.
And Rick Forney was absolutely right. Pick up the pace. One thing the infielders like on this ball club is when pitchers work fast, balls are hit to them and they feel like they're in the game, and that might have contributed to Casio Grider's here.
Yeah, you don't like to give a team extra outs, especially a team like the RailCats. There's just been too many extra outs given. Too many walks of late a bit for the Goldeyes as well. Just haven't been sharp. And they haven't been sharp on the bases either. They've made a lot of mental errors that don't necessarily get marked down as errors on the scorecard as well.
And Rick's absolutely correct. Pick up the pace. Play this game at a little more tempo. We go to the top of the 4th. First pitch is foul back off the bat of Sam Lind. Lind walked his first time up in an inning when there was 2 runs scored on 2 walks and an error. There's a line shot, broken bat into right field. It's handled by Mazzola. Lind is not going to test Mazzola's arm.
Shattered bat for the single.
34 singles.
Not a bad pitch, but we got some kindling going. Bat almost made it all the way to first base. Just exploded.
Gary has 4 hits in this ball game, all singles. In at third base is Casey Harther, expecting the bunt from the number 9 hitter Brockett. Go back to first base to make sure Lind doesn't go anywhere.
Another informative chat with Greg Taggart before the game today. He's such a good guy to talk
baseball. You always
baseball
learn
with.
something from Greg
Oh,
Taggart.
definitely.
And they just picked off Sam Lind at first base. Kobe Kogel to Luis Allen, picks off Sam Lind. What a job by Kogel. Oh, and he was picked off by a mile. That wasn't even close.
Got him caught leaning for sure. It's funny, just going back to the discussion with Taggart, naturally I asked him if he had been part of anything similar to what he saw last night with those 28 hits and the 14 runs. And he said, oddly enough, it was on the other side of the ledger. His first year as manager of the RailCats, they lost a game 26-1 to the Kansas City T-Bones at Community America Ballpark. And they were outscored in the series 30-4, but they won 2 out of 3 games.
2 out of 3 games.
That's where the term RailCatted was originally founded by Dirty Al Gallagher, the manager of the T-Bones.
1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Brockett. And of course, Dirty Al passed it on to his former Major League teammate Hal Lanier, and it became a thing and has been ever since. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
When you give up 26 in the first game, you don't expect to win 2 out of 3 in the series.
When you only score 30 runs.
Well, no, they only scored 4.
When you have 30 scored against you in a series, and you've won 2 of the games.
Oh, boy.
It is an amazing game that way, isn't it?
Just said it was a classic, classic Taggart. Last night, it was one of those nights you just can't explain it. And that's true. You put up 28 hits, it's tough to explain.
1-2 the count, and that's on the corner for strike 3. No question about that one. Great pitch from Kogi Kogel. And Kogel gets strikeout number 2 in the ballgame. And here comes J.D. Pulfer, the leadoff man and designated hitter.
Pitch looked maybe a tad low, but he hit the glove on the black, and he got the call for the strikeout. Look.
So here's Pulfer, who is 1 for 2 tonight. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Pulfer singled in the first, scored a run on that pass ball and grounded out short. Pitch misses, 1-1. We're in the top of 4 here at Shaw Park in downtown Winnipeg. Beautiful night for baseball. Kogel's pitch, and there's a little base hit up the middle. Solid single to center for J.D. Pulfer, his second hit of the ball game. 35th single of the series.
Pulfer's enjoying hitting in this ballpark, it appears, Scott. He seems to be locked right in. Pitch over the middle, and he just drills it into center field. Not trying to do too much with it.
Pulfer now 7 for 13 in the series.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Some more solid singles among the bunch today. There were a couple of bloops, but not. There's been a lot of hard hit balls here.
Here's Drew Martinez,
including the last one.
And there's a bunt foul.
Pulfer and Martinez, both part of that 2013 championship squad for the RailCats. It was interesting in that discussion with Taggart. He talked about, you know, a lot of turnover. The roster's basically overhauled, and you know, when you have so many fresh faces, it's tough to get the buy-in on that culture that the RailCats have had for so long. They're trying to recreate that stretch of time. They had that really good decade, but again, a lot of new players. They're not as familiar with RailCat baseball, if you will.
Well, they'd be familiar now after last night's game.
Well, yes, there you go.
Can you RailCat somebody in a 14-7 ball game?
I don't think so.
Boy, they almost did. And there's a little flare in the left field. Chris Robinson comes on, he makes the catch. Robinson with a lot of speed out in left field, and that does it for Gary in the 4th. No runs on 2 hits, 2 more singles, no errors, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Gary 4, Winnipeg 2. This is Goldeyes Baseball live on Shaw TV.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG.
Here with Greg Taggart, the manager for the RailCats. Greg, your team has struggled a little bit in the month of July. Only 5 wins, but a big win last night, obviously, and a 4-2 lead now. What's the team feeling like?
You know, I think we're feeling good. You know, we have it's been a bumpy ride so far, not one with a lot of ups. So I think us and the Goldeyes kind of in the same situation. We're not seeing the two of our clubs used to seeing our clubs at this place in the standings. So hopefully a win like last night, but you just never know. You know, it's another night and the way baseball is. But I think both clubs would agree we need to get it going.
The RailCats, as you mentioned, just above the Goldeyes right now in the wild card race. What is the big message to the team at the halfway point of the season?
You know, you want to say there's a lot of season left, but you know, with you get past that halfway point, those games tend to roll up quickly, and you know, there's got to be a sense of urgency. So that's the message for us.
Thanks very much, Rick. Good luck. Back to you, Scott.
Thank you very much, Mike, and thanks, Greg Taggart. See, Mike went down to interview him. You didn't even need to talk to him before the game.
Oh, I like to get the knowledge. I like to have the knowledge dropped pre-game for sure. A lot of the managers in this league are very good to talk to.
Tremendous.
Can learn a lot being around them. Most of them are pretty forthcoming.
For the Goldeyes in the bottom of the fourth inning, it'll be Brad Boyer, Ryan Babineau, and Nick Jackson.
Forthcoming and helpful. It's a good combination for us in the media, that's for sure.
Boyer fouled out into a double play his first trip. He was 4 for 4 last night. Goldeyes had 14 hits.
Yeah, most nights you put up 7 and have 14 hits, you're going to be on the other side of the ledger than what they were last night.
Pitch to Boyer is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Brad Boyer hit into a double play and should not have. A foul out. And then Cassio Grider got caught in no man's land between third and home. And there's a little flare out into left field, but Adam Taylor is right there. Didn't even have to move.
Nick Jackson said to me today as well that it's sort of that yesterday's game was kind of a microcosm of the season. They just haven't been able to put everything together at once. So on a night when they get their hitting going, you don't have the pitching. A lot of the nights their pitching's been going, like Nick Hernandez has had a couple games with no run support at all. So when the pitching's been there, the hitting hasn't been there, and vice versa.
They lost the final game of the series at St. Paul to 2-1. You hold St. Paul to 2 runs, you better beat them. They couldn't. 1 strike to Ryan Babineau. Former Gary SouthShore RailCat. There's a little flare into right field, coming on hard is the right fielder Drew Martinez. So 2 opposite way flares off the bats of Boyer and Babineau contribute to the first 2 outs of this 4th inning, and we'll bring up Nick Jackson.
Jackson's excited to be back in the lineup, obviously, Scott. As I mentioned earlier, it took him a little longer to get back in than he was anticipating, but certainly has something to give to the Goldeyes down the stretch.
He was turning on pitches the last 2 days in batting practice, hitting them a long way. Hit one the other day right over top of the tent.
Only played, this is 28th game, Scott. He has 7 doubles and 3 homers. So he's got a lot of extra base hits for a small sample size.
Off-speed pitch, changeup has Jackson way out in front. 1-1 the count.
A true professional, Nick Jackson. Been a real good player in this league for a long time.
Swing and a miss. He looks like he's feeling it. The swing looks good. It wasn't so much the hamstring as the tendon that connects it,
right,
which was the problem with his injury, why he was out so long. It was more than just a tweaked hammy. 1-2 the count. There's one the opposite way. It will be foul, but it was hit pretty good.
You could tell he was eager to get going today in our conversation. He was anxious to get back in the lineup and get into that batter's box and start trying to get into a groove. He's been in a lot of winning teams. He's not a real vocal guy, but he's a lead by example kind of guy, and that's the kind of guy the Goldeyes need at this point in the season as they try to salvage and stay in that wild card race.
He's a lot like Casey Harther in that room. Doesn't say a whole lot, but when he does say something, people listen. 2-2 the count to Nick. 2 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of 4. Goldeyes trail it 4-2. Charlie Rosario kicks, delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Off-speed pitch again by Rosario. Fools Jackson, and that does it for the Goldeyes in the 4th. Nothing across for Winnipeg. We'll go to the 5th inning. Charlie Rosario And the Gary SouthShore RailCats lead the Goldeyes 4-2. This is Goldeyes Baseball. Scott Taylor, Ken Weed, Mike Valente, the entire crew. Glad you could join us here on Shaw TV.
You're watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
Plastic shopping bags are recyclable, just not in your blue bin. Return them to a retailer with a collection bin or put them to use again. For more recycling tips from Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba, visit simplyrecycle.ca.
Go Winnipeg, go everywhere.
River and Osborne in the heart of Osborne Village.
And the Gaynor Family Regional Library.
From backyards to backstage, the stories that matter live on Shaw TV.
I'm here at the Mennonite Heritage Village.
We are here at Fort White Alive.
We're at the Main Street Farmers Market in Winnipeg's North End.
It is the Gimli Film Fest.
Go Winnipeg, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., 7 days a week, only on Channel 9.
Back here at Shaw Park, we're standing here in Section I. We want to encourage everyone to log on to social media, tweet us at Shaw TV Winnipeg, and use the hashtag Let's Play WPG. You're tweeting us. It's a great crowd here tonight. Let's take a look at some pictures right now here on our Shaw TV broadcast as the RailCats take on the Goldeyes. Our first picture is it's Yvette. She's enjoying some tasty treats here at the Goldeyes game. Willie Walker's also tweeted us. Look at that beautiful drawing from Sophie. And Trev is last but certainly not least with a friend of his as well. Again, tweet us at Shaw TV Winnipeg. Use the hashtag Let's Play WPG. You're giving yourself a chance to win a free pair of tickets to a home game here at Shaw Park. So do that, won't you?
Thank you, Mike Valente. It's John Jones leading it off for Gary here in the top of the fifth inning. It'll be Jones, Vaughn, and Taylor. Against Kobe Kogel, the Goldeyes starter, who has settled down since that rocky first inning. Pitches outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Jones. Jones in the ball game is 1 for 1. He singled in the first, walked in the second, scored a run on that pass ball situation that cost the Goldeyes 2 runs. There's a ground ball base hit. 6th hit of the night, 6th single of the night.
Kogel originally drafted by the Texas Rangers in the 23rd round back in 2012. Spent last season in the San Diego Padres system, splitting time between Class A Fort Wayne and Class A Advanced Lake Elsinore. Kogel did make 14 starts last year in his 22 appearances, going 5-4, 6.90 earned run average.
Run at first, and there goes the runner. There's a ground ball to Harther. He handles it. Fires across the diamond to get the runner heading to first, Michael Vaughn. John Jones was off.
More aggressive play from the RailCats. This is a hit and run all the way. Harther was thinking about second because it was hit so hard, but wisely makes the throw across the diamond to get the sure out at first. RailCats do a nice job of advancing the runner, but again, good job by Harther, who is playing out of position to a certain degree. He occasionally likes to play third, but this is a guy who's a first baseman by trade. Nice play over there.
So runner at second with 1 away. Here's Adam Taylor, the left fielder. Tried to get a timeout, ends up seeing a ball from Kobe Kogel.
Pretty good curveball right there. I guess it must have broken
Looked pretty
around
good,
the plate.
didn't it? Yeah. One 1-0, the count to Taylor. Jones is at second. Pitches low, 2 balls and no strikes. Kogel not happy with himself. He's missing with his best stuff.
Kogel did a good job of working his way into the rotation. Started the year on the DL. Got an opportunity after a couple injuries and settled in.
There's a fly ball. Heisler moving over, Mazzola moving over. Heisler makes the catch. Tagging is Jones. Jones will go on to third base. But Heisler makes the play for the second out. 2 away, runner at third, and here comes Michael Schroeder.
Again, heads up base running by Jones, Scott. Again, this can of corn to center field, but it's deep enough that you can get yourself the extra 90 feet. Now you bring the wild pitch into play, the pass ball. You know, if you're at second, you probably need a single to score him at least, but now you bring a lot of other things into play.
So here comes Rick Forney again to have another conversation with Kogel.
It was a leisurely stroll to the mound.
There's nobody up throwing. So it's not like Kobe Kogel's going anyplace.
No, they're just discussing the situation. Probably wondering if they want to attack Schroeder here or if they're going to go at Bernal instead.
Schroeder has a hit in 2 trips. He struck out in the first and then singled in the third.
But thrown out on that great play
Thrown out
by
on that
Mazzola.
great play by Mazzola. And then Bernal, if you want to walk Schroeder and face Bernal, Bernal's has a single and a run scored and grounded out to third.
Now with the base open, you can afford to be careful in this righty-lefty matchup.
Here's Kogel's pitch, and there's a ground ball to Boyer. Should be an easy play for Brad. He fires to first, and that does it. Good pitch by Kobe Kogel to get Schroeder to ground out, and that does it. For the Gary South Shore RailCats, no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. It's Gary 4, Winnipeg 2. This is Goldeyes Baseball, and it's live right here on Shaw TV.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG.
The Lazy Boy Comfort Zones, located in the Winnipeg Free Press Sky Suite, is fully furnished with the latest Lazy Boy sofas, love seats, and recliners. The Winnipeg Goldeyes would like to thank Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, located at 1425 Ellis Avenue, for their support. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Comfort, it's what we do.
Welcome back to Shaw Park. Granny's Poultry is now serving up barbecue turkey drumsticks. All summer long with their new barbecue part. Granny's Poultry is locally produced by Manitoba farmers. Come up and get some at the ballpark. Granny's. There's some folks that have had their drumstick tonight. Smiling, happy. We go to the bottom of 5. It's Chris Robinson, Luis Allen, and Adam Heisler for the Goldeyes. Allen with a home run in the ballgame. Heisler with a double and a single. To face Charlie Rosario, who's allowed 2 runs on 5 hits.
This has been impressive. I've liked what I've seen from Rosario.
Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but Kogel has been impressive the last couple of innings. Settled in and is now giving his team a chance to win. They have to respond now with some hits.
And again, he needed to pitch deep into the ball game. He's got 5 into the books here. Coming off a start where he did throw 100 pitches for the 3rd time in 7 starts. So see what the 6th brings. But if he could at least work into the 7th and then turn it over to the bullpen, that would be a huge help.
1 ball and no strikes to Robinson. There's a pitch high. 2 balls and no strikes. Chris Robinson, one of the brightest surprises on this Goldeyes team. He hasn't been around very long, but he has contributed. This is just his 16th game. But he comes in hitting .296. He squares to bunt, pulls it back. It's ball 3.
Does a lot of things well.
Got a great eye at the plate, too.
Really good eyes. A catcher by trade, playing in the outfield.
He was a tremendous college player.
Runs pretty well.
That's in there for a strike. Played at Moorhead State in Kentucky, not the Moorhead State across the river from Fargo.
Right.
The home of Chad Posthumus from Winnipeg, the now professional basketball player.
You can tell he's very fundamentally sound, like a lot of good Canadian players, but solid.
He draws the walk, and that'll make Rick Forney smile. Look at his leadoff man on base. Good job by Chris Robinson. He took all 5 pitches he saw.
Hey, you got to have base runners. You're down by 2 runs.
And now you've got a guy who's already got a home run, followed by a guy who's got a double and a single.
And this is against a guy who came into the game with 20 2/3 scoreless innings.
So Robinson with a pretty good lead at first base. Allen digs in. Rosario gets the sign back to first, goes Robinson diving back into first base. Four runs on 6 hits for Gary, 2 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Goldeyes. Rosario checks the runner. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Good pitch by Rosario, 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Snaps that glove of catcher Michael Vaughn. Robinson with a real good lead at first base. Pitch to Allen is low. 1-1, the count to Luis.
And Rosario is paying a lot of attention to Robinson as well. Could cause him to make a mistake to the batter.
Luis got a fastball in, as Ken Weed pointed out back in the first inning. Pulled his hands in, barreled up, and just whacked it inside the foul pole in left field for his 4th home run of the season. Robinson goes back to first.
Robinson has 1 steal. Scotty has been caught once as well in the now his 16th game as a Goldeye.
Pretty good speed for a catcher. 1-1 the count to Luis. There's the pitch, and there's a pop-up. A short fly ball the opposite way. Handled easily in right field by Drew Martinez. That's the first out of the inning. We'll bring up Adam Heisler.
Now, it's a little bit more natural in a season where you're 7 games below 500, but there has been a lot of roster turnover. Now, again, not uncommon in independent baseball, but it seems like a lot more than last year when the Goldeyes had a little bit more of a solid bunch throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, I think you're right.
A lot of trades, a lot of releases. You know, Mike Wilson signed early in Mexico, a guy they were banking on to be in the middle of their order, heart of the order as the DH.
Ian Gack went to St. Paul, didn't come here. There goes the runner. Here's the throw down to second base. Robinson is safe. Stolen base for Chris Robinson. Great effort by the catcher turned left fielder.
Pretty good jump. Had a little quick peek in. A head first slide, gets to the back corner of the bag and beats the tag. Real good job by Robinson, getting his 2nd steal of the season.
You talk about his fundamentals. That was a fundamentally good face first slide. Gets his hands on the bag and slides through it. Holding on all the way. Heisler now drops a bunt right in front. He's hustling down to first base. Already at third was Robinson.
Good execution again. You talk about it all the time. You got to execute. You're down 2 runs. Again, Heisler is probably bunting for the base hit in this situation with 1 down. But the runner is over at third.
He didn't quite get it down the third baseline.
He
That's what he wanted to do.
Push it a little bit further, and I think he would have beat it out. This way, throw gets him by about a step. Kreider steps in 1 for 2 with that bunt single earlier.
That was not a sacrifice. That was an attempt at a bunt single. So 2 out now. Robinson's at third base. Here's Cassio Greider. First pitch to Greider is low and outside for ball 1. Greider speed, I'd do it again.
It's a weapon.
It
no
is.
doubt about that. I asked him, because he's been struggling a bit with the bat, if that makes the bunt even more of a weapon or something he looks to. He said, it's always a weapon. Always his go-to.
Swing and a miss. 1-1, the count to Cassio Greider.
Greider has already extended his hitting streak to 8 games with that bunt single earlier. 3 for 9 on the homestand coming into the contest with the 1 ribby.
Robinson's at third, 2 away. 4-2 Gary. We're in the bottom of 5. Here's the pitch by Rosario. It's way outside. 2 balls and a strike to Cassio Greider. Robinson has speed. Greider has more. There's the pitch, and there's a chopper foul. right into the Goldeyes dugout. Counts 2-2.
With all that time that Greider spent in the Dodgers organization, I asked him as well if he had ever been part of one of those 28-hit affairs, either as an opponent or on the team that had done it. He thought his team might have been in the 20s before as well, but couldn't remember a team getting up to 28 hits in a ball game. But he was talking about the positives the Goldeyes had with the 14 hits and 7 runs of their own, although in a losing cause.
Pitch low, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cassio Greider with Casey Harther in the on-deck circle. And you know Greider will get to first base and start thinking about second in a hurry. 3-2 counts full to Cassio Greider. Rosario, who has been tremendous for this RailCats ball club. Here's the pitch. It's popped up. Will it get out of play? It will. Just out of play.
Good hustle.
Great effort by the first baseman, Michael Schroeder.
He's got the long arms. Thought he might have a chance at this. This was going to be close to the middle of the dugout, as you're going to see here. He didn't
miss it by
much. No, that's a good effort. His teammate not exactly helping him out by putting the hand up there.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Count remains. Cassio Greider, the Georgian. Digs in. Rosario checks the runner. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle, and it gets through for a base hit and an RBI. Greider's going to try to go to second base, and he is dead. He is cut down at second base. He gets an RBI. We'll have another look at this one. The run scores. The Goldeyes cut the lead to 4-3. Kenny?
Good piece of hitting, Scott. Good job. Great at bat. Battled. Knocked it through the infield. But again, this is just overly aggressive. You're a guy who can steal the bag with relative ease. I understand if there's no one covering because both the shortstop and the second baseman went deep behind the bag to try to knock it down. But that's just aggressive by Greider. It's the second time he's been the third out of an inning on the bases when he's been too aggressive.
Not a good thing, but before we go, is Mike Valenti coming up before we go or after we go? Okay, Mike, where are you? Mike in the crowd.
Yeah, I'm here right now. Tough way to end the inning, obviously, for the Goldeyes there, but we want to encourage all of our fans, of course, to go ahead, ma'am, sir. To go on social media, at Shaw TV Winnipeg, use the hashtag Let's Play WPG. We have a trivia question for you. Here it is now. In the 2014 American Association All-Star Game, how many hits did the North All-Star team record? If you know the answer, tweet us at Shaw TV Winnipeg using the hashtag Let's Play WPG. Because if you know the answer, you're giving yourself a great chance to win a home pair of tickets for a home game at the Goldeyes here at Shaw Park. Back to you, Scott.
Mike, we'll go to break. It's Gary 4, Winnipeg 3. This is Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
You are watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
Ready for summer? If you have a cottage or cabin, Shaw Direct has your family's entertainment covered. For a limited time, you can add Shaw Direct Satellite TV to your vacation home and get 50% off our most popular programming packages. Got a cottage or cabin? Get Shaw Direct Satellite TV today.
Time for the American Association Saves Leaders, sponsored by Manitoba Hydro. Let's take a look. Jose Flores in the lead, tied for first with Ryan Rodaba. They both have 13. In third place, Andy Loomis playing for Gary. He has 12. And Hyland Peguero, 10 for the Winnipeg Goldeyes. The American Association Save Leaders are brought to you by Manitoba Hydro. Manitoba Hydro encourages all consumers to save energy and be power smart by using Energy Star appliances. Back to you, Scott.
It's Roger Bernal leading it off for Gary in this inning. It's the final 3 hitters in the order, 7, 8, and 9. Bernal, Lind, and Brockett to face Kobe Kogel here in the 6th inning. There's a pitch right down the middle. 2-2 the count to Roger Bernal. Goldeyes up stretching in the bullpen. I think Rick Forney is very happy that he's been able to get Kobe Kogel into the 6th inning.
Oh, no question about it. He needed to go deep, and so far he has done a nice job. Again, some self-inflicted wounds with the 2 runs scoring on the pass ball, but you can't fault him for the other unearned run on the error to Cassio Grider.
Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Kobe Kogler. As Bernal goes down on strikes, and that'll bring up Sam Lind.
Good pitch right there from Kogel. Got that playoff beard in full force.
He's had it all year. It's not going anywhere. It's getting big enough to have its own address. Pitch on the corner for a strike. 1 strike to Sam Lind. Lind has had a pretty good ball game. He has a walk and a run scored and a single. He was also picked off at first base, which kind of negates some of the greatness of his evening here at Shaw Park. 1-1 the count to Lind. Came in hitting 125. That average has obviously gone up. There's 1 foul back, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Up to 176. He'd like 1 more hit. Might get him closer above 200.
Mario Mendoza's line.
Well, when you haven't had a lot of at-bats, that average can really jump quickly.
Here's the fastball, fouled off. Kogel is going after Lind this time. There's no fooling around here. He is throwing hard. One out, nobody on. We're in the top of 6. Here's the pitch by Kogel. He misses outside. 2-2 the count to Sam Lind. Swing and a foul tip. Babineau couldn't hold it. Lind stays alive. Sam Lind is from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Played in Sioux Falls last year. He's still a rookie, of course. You get 2 years as a rookie. 25 years old. He'll be 26 in November. It's the pitch, high, 3-2. So Lind has worked the count full. And a walk here, and I would expect we'll have somebody up throwing in the Goldeyes bullpen. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, and Sam Lind draws his 2nd walk of the game. Walking guys hitting less than 200.
Showing himself a nice eye out there, Sam
Sure
Lind.
is. He did go after that pitch on the corner. Runner at first now with 1 out, and yes, indeed, there is some action down in that Goldeyes bullpen.
Happening. I think it's Mark Pope. I saw 5 in the. Well, hang on.
It might be
Brad Mincy.
Brad Mincy?
54, yeah. 54 Mincy.
Yeah, Mincy. Brad Mincy up throwing now for the Goldeyes. Here's Cowgill's first pitch in the hole, base hit. A single by the number 9 hitter, Brockett. Puts 2 runners on with 1 out here in the 6th, and we go to the top of the order, and J.D. Pulfer, the white-hot J.D. Pulfer.
Good piece of hitting. Right between short and 3rd. The Gary bottom of the order has been causing some serious problems for Kobe Kogel. 2 walks and 2 singles out of the 6 trips.
Walks killing.
1 strikeout and 1 sacrifice, I believe, as well for Brockett. It's pretty productive from the bottom of your order, especially when one of the guys enters with a 125 batting average.
4 walks to go with 7 singles.
But again, they make life difficult for you.
I don't think there's any. There's
on the bases and at the plate.
Singles good on you. Walks, shame on me.
Sure.
I think this ball club has been.
But because they work the count.
But this ball club is 22 and 29 because of walks.
It's a big problem.
It's a big problem. You got to throw strikes at these guys. And yeah, if they get a bunch of singles like they did last night, well, good for them. But you can't give them extra base runners because they're going to get a lot of their own.
And then compounded by the errors. 2 errors tonight. The team defense has also let them.
Because if you keep walking guys, your team defense falls asleep out there.
But they've also let the pitchers down in some regards as well.
Sure they have. Another base hit by Pulford. He is tremendous. And coming around to score easily from second base is Sam Lind. So the walk comes back to haunt Kobe Cogill. 2 hits after that. Runners on first and second now, and Rick Forney's seen all he can handle as the 5th run crosses. But as soon as he walked Sam Lind, you knew somebody was going to get up and throw.
Oh, no question. Again, as we mentioned, Cogill has had trouble with the base on balls his last 3 appearances now, and the issues were compounded by team defense. But again, you must not walk that many batters. You'll just get into too much trouble.
And you really can't walk the 8th hitter hitting 125 coming in twice. And it's affected him twice because Sam Lind has scored 2 runs in this ballgame. So here comes Brad Mincy. This pitching change brought to you by Shaw On Demand. Tell us about Brad Mincy.
Mincy Scott coming on for the 5th time as a Goldeye, 23rd time overall. 0-3 record overall with a 5.73 ERA. No record with the Goldeyes, 4.91 earned run average. 3-2 third innings pitched with the Goldeyes. 2 hits, 2 runs, both of which are earned. 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Opponents hitting just 154 against him as a member of the Goldeyes, 287 overall.
Brad Mincy has an electric arm, as Rick Forney says. He gets thrown his best stuff, and it can be pretty impressive out there.
Claimed off waivers from the Wichita Wingnuts.
This pitching change brought to you by Shaw On Demand. The new pitcher, Brad Mincy, replacing the starter, Kobe Cogill, who pitches 5 1/3 innings. Now, he is responsible for both runners out there. He gave up 8 hits. He had 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. There's Kobe Cogill. So he needs some help from Brad Mincy. Trails at 5-3.
Mincy also spent 3 years in the Miami Marlins organization.
Brad Mincy from Wilmington, North Carolina. Pitched in high A with Jupiter, Florida last year. That's a great ballpark in Jupiter. You've been down there, haven't you? We're going to check in with Mike Valente. Mike, where are you in the ballpark? Mike.
We're just behind Section I, Scott. We want to remind our viewers of our trivia question this evening, and it is, how many runs did the North All-Star team score in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game? If you know how many runs they scored, tweet us at Shaw TV Winnipeg. Use the hashtag Let's Play WPG for your chance to win a free pair of tickets to a home game here for the Goldeyes at Shaw Park. Scott.
Thank you very much, Mike. And stepping in is Drew.
I have not been to Roger Dean Stadium yet. It's on my list.
Tremendous.
I did get to the Marlins actual park at the end of the NHL draft. Fantastic.
Isn't it spectacular?
The fish and the aquarium, quite something.
So runners at first and second with 1 out. Brad Mincy on to help out Kobe Cogill. It's Mincy's first pitch, and it's chopped toward Harther foul.
Fans oohing and awing, but that was a foul ball.
That was a foul ball. The second it hit the ground foul. It was a foul ball.
Down to 6 parks to get to complete the cycle for MLB. Getting closer.
No balls and 1 strike to Drew Martinez. Brockett on second, Pulfer on first. Pulfer with 3 hits in this ballgame, 4 last night. Pitch by Mincy, just misses outside. 1-1 to Martinez.
Live arm, as you mentioned, 95 on the gun.
Throws hard. There's a broken bat ground ball base hit. Another broken bat base hit. Now here comes Mazzola's throw to the plate, and it's a gun, and he is out at the plate. What a throw by Josh Mazzola from right field to get Ryan Brockett at the plate. That's 2 outfield assists by Mazzola. A great pitch by Mincy, another broken bat single. And watch this throw.
This is just dynamite, and again, execution fantastic. Slowly hit ball. Mazzola charging all the way. Crow hop comes up throwing, and just an absolute laser beam to Babineau, who blocks the plate nicely, gets the tag down for the second out of the inning. Just an absolutely perfect throw from right field from Mazzola.
2 of them tonight. 2 outfield assists by Josh Mazzola. That's 2 away. Runners on the corners. Mincy isn't out of this yet. This first pitch is low for ball 1 to John Jones. Jones has a pair of hits tonight and a run scored.
The versatility, again, so valuable. He had to shuffle some guys around, but Mazzola's just done a fantastic job. Right field is probably his best position, as you've seen here with the great throwing arm in right field.
Swing and a miss. It was a foul tip. Babineau has had a tough night trying to corral those foul tips. They get in the glove and just pop out.
We've talked about Pulfer a lot today, Scott. The DH, J.D. Pulfer, doing a nice job going first to third as the throw goes home to the plate on that single from Martinez.
1 ball and 1 strike to Jones. Runner at third is Pulfer. The runner at first is Martinez. Mincy checks the runner. Here's the pitch. There's a line shot into the corner. That might score 2. Yeah, it will. It's going to be 7-3. Pulfer scored easily. It's a double. Jones doubles. 2 runs score. And it's now 7-3.
Well, let's get the outfield assist, but on a pretty good, there's some good movement on that ball, but Jones just dumps it into left field. Robinson tracks it down, but just great hustle by Martinez from first base. Hit the cutoff man, but no play with 2 out, runner going right away, and great jump by Martinez after the secondary lead. He scores easily and extends the lead to 4 runs.
Well, we said Mincy wasn't out of trouble, and certainly not. Double, first extra base hit of the game. 10th hit of the game for Gary. First extra base hit. The first 2 runs that were scored were the responsibility of Kobe Kogel. The last run belongs to Brad Mincy. Mincy now responsible for the runner at second.
It's been another one of the issues. Goalies just haven't been able to stop the bleeding. They get a big outfield assist that you don't expect to get.
What a tremendous throw that was.
Chance to maybe keep it a 2-run game. Next guy comes up with the clutch 2 RBI double, and it's a 4-run deficit again.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike now to Michael Vaughn. Vaughn, the catcher, came in hitting an even 200. He's 0 for 3 already in this game. Mincy gets the sign for Babineau. It's the pitch, and it's low. He's keeping the ball down, but not finding the strike zone against Michael Vaughn.
Bit of a hush has come over the crowd after those extra runs here.
Mincy delivers, swing and a miss. Fastball, low and inside, fools Vaughn. 3-2 the count.
Oh, good pitch, tied him up there, Scott. That's a great
pitch.
example. He bust him inside and really tied him up.
Three and two, the count to Michael Vaughn, and there's a ground ball hit hard at Casey Harther. He handles it, fires it across to Luis Allen, and that does it. But damage done. 3 runs for Gary, 4 hits. There were no Goldeyes errors and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. A big 3-run inning for Gary. They've blown it wide open. They lead it 7-3. This is Goldeyes Baseball live on Shaw TV.
You're watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
Sometimes we all need our space, and that goes for recyclables too. Toss them loosely into the bin without stuffing containers into one another. For more recycling tips from Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba, visit simplyrecycle.ca.
Come down to Max's Mini Mall, you're gonna have yourself a ball with all your friends. And you don't have to be real tall or exceptionally small or up on trends. Yeah, we're just some funny folks with a whole lot of jokes and shops to attend. Ow! Max's Mini Mall, ba-ba-da-da. Max's Mini Mall, ba-ba-da-da. Best mall of them all, ba-ba-da-da. Max's Mini Mall, ba-ba-da-da. Max's Mini Mall.
Welcome back to the ballpark at every Goldeyes Sunday afternoon home game during the 2015 season. Fun Mountain Water Slide Park presents Fun Mountain Run the Bases. Every kid at every Sunday afternoon ball game this season is invited onto the field after the game to run the bases at Shaw Park with Goldie, Goldette, Spike, the Fun Mountain mascot. That's every Sunday game this season. Run the bases at Shaw Park with your friends from Fun Mountain Water Slide Park. She would have fun running the bases. As Charlie Rosario works into the bottom of the 6th inning for the Goldeyes, it'll be the middle of the lineup. Harther, Mazzola, Boyer. Goldeyes got to get something going here. They trail at 7-3.
In case you're wondering, Scott, the last time that Rosario went 7 innings or beyond was June 23rd on Ace Walker night. And that 5-2 victory gave up the 6 hits. No runs allowed.
Pitch to Harther is low for ball 1. So Harther, who comes into this at bat, 1 for 2. He singled in the first inning. Grounded out to second, trying to go the opposite way. Almost got through, as Kenny pointed out.
He's really done a nice job at third. He's fielded the position well. That was a fantastic play on that last one. Great diving stab. Good throw across the diamond.
Comes into this ballgame hitting .304. Number has gone up a couple of points tonight with that single. There's the pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle. Tough play and a good play and thrown away. I suspect he'll get a single on this one, an infield hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Yeah, it's going to be an infield hit.
Sam Lynn does everything he can, Scott. This ball is right up the middle. He did a nice job to get there, especially because it hit the bag and flattened out. But the throw across the body was just too much, and great hustle by Harther to beat it out for the infield single.
So another hit for the Goldeyes. That's their 7th of the evening. Puts a runner at first with nobody out and brings up Josh Mazzola. Mazzola's 0 for 2. Last time lined out hard to left field. First pitch is high, ball 1. There is no movement in either bullpen, so Mincy will come out to start the 7th inning for the Goldeyes. Zero checks the runner, swing and a miss. Off speed pitch had Mazzola way out in front.
Really, really good changeup right there. Mazzola looking fastball, just pulled the string on that one. He was out in front.
1-1 the count to Mazzola. Harther with a pretty good lead at first, but it's unlikely he'll be going anywhere. There's one fouled off onto the roof.
Let's have one more look, Scott. Just as I mentioned about Lynn, watch how he has to keep his concentration when the ball, as it's going over the bag, hits the bag and just skids. Right there, just really flattened out. Nice job of staying down on the ball by Lind. The throw across the body pulls Schrader off the bag, or shoulder off the bag, but that's a fantastic play.
Swing and a miss, and Mazzola strikes out. First out of the inning. Mazzola 0 for 3 on the evening, brings up Brad Boyer. Mazzola fooled on that pitch in the dirt. Not happy with himself. Boy, he's played well defensively tonight, though.
Real good job with the arm.
2 outstanding throws by Josh Mazzola. That throw to the plate.
On a line.
On a line.
Laser beam. Just a perfect throw.
So here's Boyer. He's 0 for 2 after getting 4 hits last night. Here's the pitch. It's fouled off.
Look out.
Brad Boyer, another one of the California crew on this team. Goldeyes have 8 Californians rather, and Brendan Lafferty, who's a Californian who now calls Winnipeg home. Pitches inside. But Kyle Anderson from Aptos. Mike Noteware from Glendale. Tony Smith from 29 Palms. Ryan Babineau from the real Rancho Cucamonga. Pitch is low, 2 balls and a strike to Boyer. Boyer's from Camarillo. Harthur's from West Hills. Mazzola's from Santee.
Rosario sure doesn't look like a guy who's just in his second full season of being a starter, does
No, he doesn't. He looks very comfortable out there. 2-1 the count to Boyer. Here's the pitch, and there's a line shot foul. Boyer got the barrel of the bat on it, hit it hard, but was way out in front. The changeup has been Rosario's most effective pitch. He really has the Goldeyes off balance with that change. Haven't seen a lot of the slurve tonight.
Yeah, not a ton of them. Taggart said that's the pitch that's gotten him in trouble a little bit. He's had a little bit of trouble with the control and then also hanging it.
Swing and a miss. That was the slurve, and that was a beautiful pitch by Rosario. Second straight strikeout by Rosario. 2 outs in this inning now, and here comes Ryan Babineau. That was a great pitch.
The problem with the slurve is that when it's flat, it gets hit very far. But that one right there is a sharp bender, the 12-6 variety, if you will. Really sharp breaker right there. Got Boyer to chase it. When you combine that 85-mile-an-hour slurve with the 94-mile-an-hour fastball, then dump in the 78-mile-an-hour change, you will keep a lot of his hitters guessing.
So here's Babineau now with a runner. First pitch is high, ball 1.
Rosario will turn 27 on July 23rd. A lot of experience. Started as a rookie when he was just 18 years old in the Dominican Summer League. He is from the Dominican Republic.
That pitch is in there. 1-1 to Babineau. Babineau tonight is 0 for 2. He grounded out to third base back in the second, flied out to right field in the fourth.
Rosario did reach Double-A Portland on 2 separate occasions. It's a pretty good Double-A experience.
Pitch in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Babineau held up on the pitch that struck out both Mazzola and Boyer. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning at Shaw Park in downtown Winnipeg, and there's a high pop-up. In comes Taylor, out goes Brockett. Taylor calls off Brockett, and that'll do it. Was it a mile in the air? No runs on a hit. The Goldeyes get the leadoff man on. Can't do anything with them. No errors. 1 man left on base. We played 6 complete. Charlie Rosario dealing. It's Gary 7, Winnipeg 3. This is Goldeyes Baseball live on Shaw TV.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG.
Catch the excitement of Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball live from Shaw Park on Shaw TV Channel 9. Go to shawtv.ca/Winnipeg for the complete telecast schedule. Friday, July 31st at 7, your Goldeyes play the Amarillo Thunderheads. Let's play.
We are back here with a very special guest in Section I at Shaw Park, row 12, suites 1 and 2. We're talking with Marlene. Marlene, how long have you been a season ticket holder?
16 years.
16 years. So you've seen a lot of games, a lot of memories come back. Anything specific?
Definitely. No, I love it every year.
Yeah.
Every year it gets better.
And when you're not at the park, what do you do at home?
Nothing but watch TV and wait for you to put it on again.
You watch the replay on Shaw TV.
I watch the replay every time that you come here.
Absolutely. Are you enjoying yourself tonight?
I am. I'm having lots of fun. Always do.
So the replay's on at midnight. Right now it's 9 o'clock, so you're going to have to stay up until at least 2 in the morning.
I hate to tell you this, but I don't go to bed before 2 anyway.
There you go. It's perfect. Thank you very much, Marlene.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Back to you, Scott.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Marlene. 16-year season ticket holder with the Goldeyes.
Thanks for watching the replay as
and
well.
Thanks for watching us on the replay. I have to give a shout out to Marlene every night.
Well, it's impressive.
It really is. Brad Mincy coming out to work his second inning. Adam Taylor, Michael Schroeder, Roger Bernal to face Brad Mincy. Here in the top of the 7th inning with Gary ahead 7-3. Here's Mincy's pitch. Misses outside, ball 1. Seven runs, 10 hits, no errors for Gary. 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Goldeyes. Mincy's pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes.
Nobody up in the pen. It's going to be Mincy's game for a while here, it appears.
Looks like.
A little bit of rustling in that RailCat bullpen, though.
There's a chopper to Luis at first, foul. 2 balls and a strike. To Adam Taylor, the left fielder. Adam Taylor is from Lawrence, South Carolina. He's a rookie. Played in Florence last year. Just 24 years old, 6'1", a 190-pounder. Came into the ballgame hitting .279. He has no homers. Not many do on this team. 19 driven in. Here's the pitch. There's a line shot. Mazzola getting over. He won't get to it. It'll be a base hit for Taylor. Hit number 11, single number 10. 10 singles and a double.
Solid day. Solid day at the office. Nice piece of hitting. Good job by Mazzola to get over there. I thought that if that had a skip short hop, it could have been to the wall in some trouble.
11th hit of the ballgame. 39 hits in 2 games for this team. Mincy gets the sign from Babineau. Here's the pitch. This is outside. When you're behind hitters all the time and you have to come in with strikes, if you don't get ahead of hitters, you're going to be in trouble. And that's been the story of the Goldeyes game tonight.
Yeah, and even early in the game when Kogel was getting ahead, he couldn't put hitters away.
1 ball and no strikes. The count, Schroeder 2-0. And for the second straight hitter, Mincy falls behind 2-0.
Now we got some more action in the Goldeyes bullpen.
I think it was inevitable.
Oh, sure.
Go to 2-0 on your second hitter. Rick is going to make sure somebody else is ready. It looks like Rhett Varner from a distance. There's a ground ball to Boyer at second. Over to Greider, back to first, a 4-6-3 double play, and that's what Brad Mincy needed. And I wouldn't be surprised if Rhett Varner, now he's probably going to come in and pitch the 8th inning anyway.
High fastball. Hit pretty hard. Boyer with the underhand scoop. Greider fires it across Luis Allen for the bang-bang double play.
Perfect 4-6-3 double play for the Goldeyes. 2 away, nobody on. And we'll have Roger Bernal come back up, and we get into that bottom half of the order that's really, really hurt the Goldeyes. First pitch is in there for a strike. That's the way you get ahead of hitters. So Brad Mincy gets ahead of Bernal 0-1. Pitch in the dirt, 1-1. when you get that first pitch strike, you can try to fool a guy with that off-speed stuff in the dirt. But it's pretty tough when you're down 2 balls and no strikes, and you got to come in with something. Ball hit hard to Boyer, but right at Brad at second base. Here's Mincy's pitch. That's in there for a strike. Good movement on that fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bernal. Bernal tonight has a single and a run scored in 3 trips. Mincy delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Brad Mincy got a little air there in that inning with that double play. So after giving up the single and falling behind 2 hitters, he gets the double play and then strikes out Bernal. Good inning for Brad Mincy. No runs, on a hit, no errors, nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Gary leads at 7-3. It's Goldeyes baseball on Shaw.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG.
Time now for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by the Dugout, the Goldeyes Souvenir Store. Go see Chelsea. 2 locations right here at the ballpark in downtown Winnipeg, as Tara Meslowski and Catherine Comte and Goldie and Goldette lead the fans through the 7th inning stretch.
Everybody, you did great. Give yourselves
The 7th inning stretch is brought to you by the Dugout Souvenir Store. 2 locations right here in Shaw Park. Go see Chelsea. Say hi. Thanks to everybody. Catherine and Tara, Anders, all the Goldeyes fan services reps, and of course Goldie and Goldette. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Charlie Rosario still dealing. 7 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Gary SouthShore RailCats. 3 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors for the Winnipeg Goldeyes. And the Goldeyes will send to the plate in this 7th inning Nick Jackson, Chris Robinson, and Luis Allen. You look at this Goldeyes lineup and you wonder how they can only score 3 runs. There's some hitters in this lineup.
Well, they've hurt themselves on the bases today. Grider
too.
Twice been thrown out.
But as you pointed out, they haven't been able to get everything together.
No, exactly.
So Rosario to face Jackson. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1.
Jackson said he's never had an injury that's kept him out this amount of time where he's come back. He's had a couple of season-ending injuries, but never an injury that he's had to be on the shelf for so long with and then coming back.
There's a ground ball right up the middle and right at Brockett, the shortstop. He fires to first. Jackson hit it hard, but Brockett was playing him perfectly.
A solid contact.
That's
Greg
Taggart.
Yeah, you got to do your research. Nick Jackson's been in the league for a long time. Taggart's seen him a lot, knows the scouting report. Even when coming back from an injury, plays him perfectly. Hard hit ball. On a lot of days, it's probably up the middle for a single. Instead, it's nothing but a ground out. But again, if you're Jackson, you've had some good at-bats. You've worked some deep counts. It's a hard hit ball up the middle. It's sort of a step in the right direction, if you will.
Here's Chris Robinson. Robinson tonight has a walk, a stolen base, a run scored. 0 for 1. He fouls it off. He grounded out to shortstop back in the 2nd, walked in the 5th. Scored the Goldeyes' 3rd run of the ball game. Some action now in that Gary bullpen. Pitch is on the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chris Robinson. The crowd getting on the umpire.
Fans are not thrilled
They
with
don't
the
think
zone.
they don't like that zone much. It's Rosario's pitch, and there's a little fly ball in right field. Coming on is Drew Martinez. He makes the catch. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. So Rosario has settled down after giving up a run in the 1st. He was in big trouble in the 1st inning and wiggled off the hook.
1st and 3rd, nobody out. Gonna run in.
should have been a huge inning. And was not. Here's
At worst,
Luis.
the Goldeyes should have found themselves tied.
Luis has a home run in 2 trips. Solo shot in the 3rd inning. First pitch is in there for a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Rosario with that off-speed stuff.
He just seems to be getting better as the game's worn on here.
He's picked up some confidence, and he's been helped out by his offense. His team has scored some runs for him. Rosario kicks and delivers. That's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luis.
I guess because of that versatility too, he's been a reliever before and now he's proven to be a pretty good starter. That could make him attractive to an organization at some point. You never know. He's got a pretty live arm. 2 above average pitches and he's working on that slurve.
This one fouled off. Count remains 1 and 2.
Good stuff, but not overpowering. The most strikeouts he's had in a game this year is 5. On 4 separate occasions.
Tonight he's had 3. So a typical pitch to contact pitcher. 2 and 2 the count to Luis. Charlie Rosario. Delivers to Allen, and there's a fly ball the opposite way. Hit pretty good, but right at Drew Martinez. Martinez makes the catch, and that does it for the Goldeyes in the 7th. Nothing across for Winnipeg. Let's go down into the stands someplace. Where's Mike? Mike Valenti.
Hello there, guys. We're in Section O, of course, and we want to remind everyone that to tweet your pictures at Shaw TV Winnipeg using the hashtag Let's Play WPG. Let's take a look at some now here on our Shaw TV broadcast as we are heading to the 8th inning. Our first picture from Jeff Riley. Look at that, chowing down on a Manitoban cheese nip. Sue is next. Sue's always here. She must be a season ticket holder. And Ed is finally there with a bunch of friends. Again, a perfect atmosphere here on a Friday night for a lot of group of friends to come out and enjoy the game here at the park. Back to you, Scott.
Thanks, Mike. We'll go to the top of the 8th inning. The Goldeyes trail the Gary SouthShore RailCats 7-3. It is beautiful tonight in downtown Winnipeg. We got fireworks at the ballpark. Come on out late, sneak in, watch the fireworks. It's Goldeyes baseball on Shaw TV.
You're watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
It's the American Association Out of Town scoreboard, brought to you by Shaw. Amarillo and Joplin are 2-2 in the bottom of the 7th. I love the name of the Amarillo team, the Thunderheads. St. Paul beats everybody. They're beating Sioux Falls 4-1 tonight. They don't lose very much. Laredo beats Sioux City 10-9. Sioux City's got some of the best pitching in the league. 10-9. Wichita leads Grand Prairie 7-3. Fargo gets whipped by Sussex County out in the Can-Am League 5-1. And Kansas City and Lincoln are 0-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Pitchers duel in Lincoln, Nebraska tonight. We got a brand new pitcher for the Winnipeg Goldeyes, and it's not Goldie. Although
he did accompany Greg Taggart to the third base coach's box.
Pitching for the Goldeyes is Rhett Varner. Tell us about Rhett.
Right-hander coming on for the 13th time for the Goldeyes, 21st time overall with the Goldeyes. No record, 6.97 earned run average, 10 1/3 innings pitched, 13 hits allowed, 9 runs, 8 of which are earned, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .310 against the tall right-hander.
Rhett Varner, the brand new pitcher for the Winnipeg Goldeyes. Rhett Varner is a Texan and has spent a lot of his career in Texas. Went to Texas at Arlington in what is called the Dallas Metroplex. But Rhett Varner is from Bedford, Texas. He was playing in Laredo when the Goldeyes acquired him. And he said the difference is night and day between Laredo, Texas and Winnipeg, Manitoba. He'll face Sam Lind, and Lind fouls it off for strike 1.
Quick 96 on the gun for Varner. Throws hard.
He's got an electric arm. Him and Mincy both acquired. Has got a big arm.
Talking about this before the game with Ron Arntz. Can you remember a time when Winnipeg, Fargo, and Gary were all under 500?
No, I can't. I can't remember very many times after.
Or even two of the
June.
three were
No.
below 500.
I can't remember very many times after June 1st when any of those teams were below 500. But quickly, Varner has challenged Sam Lind to 2 quick strikes. Babineau sets up outside. Here's a fastball high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Lind. Lind has been a thorn in the side of Goldeyes pitching. He walked and scored a run in the 2nd. Singled and was picked off first in the 4th, and walked and scored a run in the 6th. There's a message. Don't walk this guy. Varner delivers. It's in the dirt, 2-2.
Goldeyes have trailed the St. Paul Saints for the division lead by double digits for 32 consecutive days coming into this game. Double digits.
St. Paul doesn't lose. Losing twice here was a shock to everybody's system.
17.5 back.
But again, great pitching.
Still in the wild
against,
card.
Against St. Paul.
Still in the wild card race.
Will they eat back in the wild card
But there's
race?
a lot of teams in that race.
Varner's pitch is foul back again.
You'll have to do a lot of leapfrogging if you're going to be counting on the wild card.
Got to start winning. That's what it comes down to. But they played so well against St. Paul, all because of their pitching.
Yeah, they've shown some signs, no question about it. Flashes.
If they get a good start, they'll generally win. The last game of that St. Paul series, losing 2-1 with a great start. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Pretty serious diet of fastballs to Sam Lind. And Varner just overpowered him.
Well, Scotty, when you're hitting 97 on the gun, there's a good reason to be throwing
That
a
was
steady
in
diet
the glove before Lind
of
swung.
fastballs.
It's interesting. Rick Forney said that he had talked to a couple of his pitchers, and he said, remember the days when you were in high school and you were the man, and no matter who was at the plate, you knew you could beat him? No matter what you threw, you knew you were better than he was. And they kind of looked at him and he said, why don't you pitch like that now? And Rhett Varner finally did that to Sam Lind. Somebody came out on the mound and said, I'm not going to be tricky with this guy. I'll throw him my heater and challenge him. Hit this. And Varner challenged Lind and got the strikeout. Pitch to Brockett is in there for a strike. 1-1 to Ryan Brockett, 94 on the gun.
We've talked about it a lot, but a 9-16 record at Shaw Park is
not
just
good enough.
Not going to get it done.
Got to start winning at home, especially on a night like tonight. A great night, good crowd. Show these folks what you got. Pitch by Varner, just misses. 2 balls and a strike. Varner is just missing. He's throwing that fastball inside and outside and just missing the plate. It's a beautiful night. Sun downtown, clouds to the south. There's a ground ball foul. Two and two the count to Ryan Brockett. Brockett has a single, a sacrifice bunt, and a strikeout looking. And of course, the ever dangerous J.D. Pulfer is next. He has 3 singles tonight.
Quite a contest. 2 ribbies as well. A couple runs scored.
Varner gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch. Hit to Casey Arthur. Arthur fires across. Brockett is out. Quickly 2 down. Another broken bat.
A lot of kindling today.
A lot.
A couple folks firing up the fire pit maybe a bit later.
Oh, Varner throws hard, and he just sawed off Brockett.
Again, challenged him, jammed him on the inside. Arthur plays it nicely again, fires it across the diamond. Showing no ill effects after that 9th inning of pitching yesterday. Sometimes leave the arm feeling a little tired, but he's been looked good over there at third.
Rick Forney and Tom Vaith trying to figure this thing out. Here's Pulfer, first pitch is in there for a strike. changeup from Rhett Varner. Varner's looked good, but Pulfer has been tough to get out. Slider outside. 1-1, the count to J.D. Pulfer. He's from Lakewood, California. Played in Gary last year. 25 years old. There's the pitch, and it's in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to Pulfer. You don't want to get behind this guy.
He's got a good eye.
He's got a great eye.
Seeing
and
the
he's
ball
been
incredibly well.
Barreling up.
Sizzling.
3 hits in this game, 4 hits last night, a hit on Wednesday. 8 hits in 14 trips. 2-1. Varner delivers. Fastball swing and a miss. 96 on the ground.
Challenging.
You can see that sky in the background. It's purple. The clouds over the Provencher Bridge, gorgeous. It's just a truly splendid night for baseball. Pulfer played straight away by everybody in the ballpark. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and he fouls it back.
Again, right on time. Real good swing there by Pulfer on a tough, high fastball.
But Varner continues to challenge.
Climbed the ladder on that one.
So Pulfer digs in. It's a good matchup. Rhett Varner, a lot of velocity. J.D. Pulfer, the hottest hitter in the series. There's another one all the way to the backstop. That's twice that's happened to Babineau tonight. On the upside, there was nobody on base
and it
this
did
time.
not hit the mask of the umpire.
3-2 the count out of Pulfer.
That's probably the upside for the umpire.
Home plate umpire tonight is Joey Stegner. Robbie Feaster's at first and Kyle Galuba's at third. Varner kicks, delivers, foul back again. Pulfer's hanging in there. Varner is throwing gas at J.D. Pulfer. We're in the top of the 8th inning. 7-3, Gary leads it. Rhett Varner, the Texan. Fires high, ball 4. Pulfer draws a walk. Great at bat for J.D. Pulfer. He's had a series of great at bats. And here comes Martinez, the left-handed hitting right fielder, to face Varner. Drew Martinez is from Collierville, Tennessee. 26 years old, 5'10", 180, the right fielder. Tonight, Martinez is 1 for 3. Correct that, 1 for 4. Lined out to center, safe on an error. Fly out to left, and Singleton scored a run in the 6th. 1 ball and no strikes to Drew Martinez. Walks have not helped the Goldeyes tonight. One and 0 to Martinez. There goes Pulfer. Nope, he stops and Martinez fouls it off. J.D. Pulfer took 2 steps towards second base and stopped dead.
The old bluff.
There you look at J.D. Pulfer. I can't take my eyes off that sky. It is just so beautiful tonight.
The Goldeyes fans are going to have to hope for a rally, or else those fireworks might have to be delayed a little bit here. It's still pretty bright out.
Varner gets the sign. There's the pitch, and it's a fly ball to center. Heisler goes back. He's got a beat on it, makes the catch. And that does it. Good inning for Rhett Varner. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on the walk, and it was J.D. Pulfer, and he didn't give him any trouble. Look at that sky out there in St. Boniface, St. Vital. And there's downtown Winnipeg. Is that something else tonight? Just gorgeous. That's a picture. It's Gary 7, Winnipeg 3. That's not a picture. It's Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG.
If you missed it in theaters, Shaw On Demand has you covered. You can catch Will Smith in Focus today.
So what about the big con? Thought you were all big time.
Taxi driver. You mean the one where we make so much money we all retire? I swear I've got 3 lives balanced on my head like stick knives.
This needs to be discreet, no holes.
I can't tell you the truth about my disguise.
You seem trustworthy, but you don't know me.
We are here in Section O with tonight's winners of our photo contest on Twitter at Shaw TV Winnipeg using the hashtag Let's Play WPG. It's Sue and Adam Breckman. How are you guys doing?
Very good, thank you.
Congratulations. You're the winner of 2 tickets to Wednesday, July 29th here at Shaw Park versus, who do we got here? Amarillo, the Thunderheads. Now, I understand you guys have a lot of family that watch Goldeyes games on Shaw TV as well.
Yes, we do. My dad actually lives in Brandon and loved coming out to the Goldeyes games here in Winnipeg. And now he's in a home care situation and or care home situation, and he's not able to come. So he watches all of the games on Shaw TV.
And that's a beautiful story. A great way to still be connected to the team.
Yeah. Thanks.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, guys. You'll enjoy those tickets as well. Who are you going to bring?
Probably my nephew and one of his friends.
Absolutely. And for viewers at home, you can win tickets as well by answering our trivia question. Let's take a look at that now. In the 2014 American Association All-Star Game, how many hits did the North All-Star team record? If you know the answer, tweet us at Shaw TV Winnipeg. Use the hashtag Let's Play WPG, and you can win. Back to you, Scott.
Thank you very much, Mike. She knows the answer because she's got the T-shirt on.
Yeah, she was there.
All-Star game. She was there. 7-3, Gary leads at top of the order for the Goldeyes. Adam Heisler, Cassio Grider, Casey Arthur. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brand new pitcher for Gary, and we'll get to him in a second as Heisler grounds out. Another broken bat. Tell us about Sean O'Neill, the new pitcher.
One of the busiest members of the bullpen for the RailCats, Scott, coming on for the 22nd time. That's second on the club. 21 2/3 innings pitched, 23 hits, 9 runs allowed, 6 of which are earned, 6 walks, 18 strikeouts. He has a 2-1 record and a 2.49 earned run average. And all his day's
going to the mound
is finished.
And that's it.
One batter.
One batter. He did his job. He got the left-handed hitter out. And you told everybody who he was, and now you got to do it again.
Well, that's enough for him, I guess.
Yeah, he didn't last, but he did what he was supposed to do through one pitch, broke a bat, got an out. That's a pretty successful night.
I believe we're familiar with the new pitcher as well, Chris.
Yeah, we've seen him before. Chris Bodishbaugh. He's got the new beard going.
Former Goldeye. He is coming on for the 6th time as a member of the RailCats. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, no record, and a tidy 1.58 earned run average after having a bit of a tough start to the season.
So Chris Bodishbaugh, the former Goldeye, is going to come in to face the right-handed hitting Cassio Grider. And yes, we know Chris from his time here in Winnipeg. Got a lot of velocity. Had trouble throwing strikes with the Goldeyes, but you're liking the music at the park, aren't you? The mix, the new mix.
It's a good
so
mix.
Is Dancing Gabe.
It's a good
He
mix.
likes that Love Shack. He's getting into the Love Shack. He's playing the bass.
Gabe is fired up.
Yeah, he is. Gabe getting into it. So's the fans. They're waiting for the fireworks tonight. Look at Gabe. He's got new moves. It's pretty impressive. Rick Heller in his Goldeyes jersey.
Old school Goldeyes jersey.
Old school Goldeyes. So Chris Bodishbaugh completes his warm-ups. He'll face Cassio Grider, who has an infield single, popped out to shortstop, and a single where he was cut down at second base trying to stretch it to a double. Look at that sky. It is just sensational.
Picturesque, if you will.
Look at that. Downtown Winnipeg looks sensational. From center field at Shaw Park. Is that Dave out there tonight? I'm asking Romy, our cameraman, is that Dave in center field tonight? Do you know who's in center field? Wes is in center field tonight. Hi, Wes. Good to see you. Great shots from our center field camera. So Cassio Grider comes in to face Chris Bodishbaugh with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Bodishbaugh delivers way outside ball 1. Tremendous shots from our cameraman Wes in center field. Grider squared the bunt, let it go, strike 1, 1-1. And of course, our cameraman right beside us, Roman. The Prince of Poland, Wojcicki. Oh, it's a bunt. It's popped up, and it was touched. It'll be a base hit. He got every break he could possibly get. He popped it up. Bernal couldn't get to it. Bernal touched it, so it's a fair ball, and it'll be a base hit for Grider, his second infield hit of the night.
And Bernal knew that he shouldn't touch it after he couldn't get it in the air, but he could not get out of the way, as you can see right here. He wanted to get out of the way, but instinctively he put that bare hand down, and it hit the bare hand and goes for an infield single.
So Grider's on first with 1 away, and now the Goldeyes get to the middle of their order. It's Casey Harther, the number 3 hitter, to face Bodishbaugh. Grider with a good lead, he bluffs to second base and decides not to go. So the 3rd hit of the night for Cassio Grider. He came in hitting .323. So he's starting to feel it again, his 2nd game back after the injury. There goes Grider, pitches in the dirt, throw down to second base, and he's safe. He beat it again. Close play at second base. Great throw by Michael Vaughn, the catcher. Tremendous
really
throw. But Grider just slid under the tag. Let's have another look.
Second steal of the day. Good jump again for Grider, but again the slide.
Just beat it.
Just to the back of the bag.
Just beat it. Great
and a better
slide.
The first slide of the game, it looked like he might have not have gotten to the bag in time, but this time he definitely was there in time.
There's a ground ball up the middle, and it's mishandled at second base. Grider will score Winnipeg's 4th run. Speed does not take a day off, and the Goldeyes get a run here in the 8th. Grider with a bunt single, a steal, a second. Goldeyes have cut the lead to 7-4.
That is the very definition, Scott, of manufacturing a run.
That looked like being rail-catted right there.
A bunt that should have been either foul or caught. Now Harther goes up the middle. Lynn gets a glove on it, but can't knock it down. Grider, after stealing second, scores easily. Makes it a 3-run game.
Here's Mazzola, the leading home run hitter in the American Association. With Harther at first and a run in here in the 8th. First pitch is low for ball 1. Goldeyes still need base runners. They're down 3.
If Mazzola puts one in the river, that might help. That matters.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count.
And he wanted to put that one in the river, it appears.
Tried to hold up.
Had already committed.
So Harther with a 2nd RBI of the game, his 3rd hit. Harther and Grider both have 3 hits tonight. There's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. Mazzola disagrees, and so do the umpires in the crowd. There are a lot of them in there.
I think it was a strike, but it was a bit of an extended delay before the strike was called. I think that was maybe the bigger issue that Mazzola had on that play right there. Oh, it's also down.
Ooh, that's way down. That's, wow. Oh, and Mazzola's just been punched out. Second strikeout in a row. And Mazzola's having a word with home plate umpire Joey Stegner. And Stegner's trying to bait him into getting thrown out. Mazzola's too smart for that. And Stegner tried to bait him right there. Wow, you don't see that very often. Let's have another look at this.
Curveball. Previous pitch was already down.
Wow. Boy, oh boy, that's 2 pitches in a row.
Where it was caught, it was down. It may have crossed the plate around the knee, but it was...
I would have liked to have seen that go on a little bit to see what the conversation was like, because Stegner did not stop when Mazzola did. There's one fouled off by Boyer.
And again, Mazzola was just saying, come on, as in that's not a strike. He didn't yell at him. He didn't swear at him. It was very calm.
Fans are having fun. Here's another look at it. That's not a strike.
That's not a strike.
Quickly, 2 strikes to Brad Boyer.
Certainly the fastball before it was lower.
Mazzola anyway started walking away, and Stegner wanted to make sure he got in the last word, and to Mazzola's credit, he never said another thing. One more word, he was gone. 2 strikes to Boyer. There's a ground ball the opposite way. Bernal handles it at third, goes to second to get the lead runner, and that does it. But the Goldeyes get a run in the 8th. 1 run on a couple of hits by Greider and Harther, who have had 6 hits between them tonight. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the 9th inning on an absolutely spectacular night for baseball in downtown Winnipeg. It's Gary 7, Winnipeg 4. This is Shaw Goldeyes Baseball. Scott Taylor, Ken Weeb, and Mike Valente live on Shaw TV.
You're watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
Time now for your slide of the game, brought to you by Manitoba Public Insurance. Don't let distracted driving take you out of the game. Texting and driving is illegal. Could cost you a $200 fine. 5 big demerits, or your life. Don't text and drive. A message from Manitoba Public Insurance and your Winnipeg Goldeyes. Kenny Weeb, what's our slide of the game?
It's been pretty active on the bases here today, Scott, but with Heiser at the plate, Chris Robinson, the catcher/outfielder, gets himself a real nice jump, as you're going to see right here. Peeks into the catcher and comes through with a nice head-first slide, gets to the right corner of the bag, and gets himself his second stolen base of the season. That head-first slide is our slide of the game.
Slide of the game brought to you by Manitoba Public Insurance. Don't text and drive. See, if you're texting and driving, you can't slide like that and put runs up for the Goldeyes. Hyland Piguero on to pitch for the Goldeyes. Tell us about Hyland.
Goldeyes closer Scott coming on for the 25th time of the year, 1-1 record, 3.91 earned run average, and as you saw previously, 10 saves, which leaves him among the league leaders. 25 1/3 innings pitched, 21 hits surrendered, 11 runs, all of which are earned, 7 walks, 34 strikeouts. He surrendered 1 homer, and opponents hitting just .221 against the former member of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, pitched a couple of years in the majors, bits of a couple of seasons with the Diamondbacks. Speaking of a guy with electric stuff, that's Hyland Piguero. We've mentioned this a couple of times. His son, Yiler, 17 years old, signed with the Chicago Cubs. The $250,000 signing bonus. Hyland, from Dominican Republic, makes his home now in North Carolina. Had his family up here earlier this year. He will face in this top of the 9th, the middle of the order, John Jones, Michael Vaughn, Adam Taylor. And then the Goldeyes will bat at the bottom of the 9th, and then we'll have fireworks.
And it's dark enough, thanks to that rally.
Starting to get a little bit darker.
And the other part of that Robinson steal is that it got himself in scoring position, and he scored. On that single up the middle by Cassio Grider.
The Goldeyes had cut this lead to 4-3, and then in the 6th inning, just a debacle. Goldeyes give up 3 runs on 4 hits. All of them singles, till the last one, which was the double that put the runs on the board. And here's John Jones, the man who got that double, the only extra base hit of the night for the Gary SouthShore RailCats. Peguero's first pitch is popped up. And it catch the wire?
I think it did hit the wire.
It caught the wire. Babineau had it, and then it hit the wire. And of course, because it hit the wire, it came back into play.
I was camped under it.
If it doesn't hit,
I was camped under it.
You were farther away from it than he was. 1 strike to John Jones. A very high strike to John Jones. Peguero's pitch. Whoa. That looked pretty good.
97.
I don't think Peguero could believe that was. Wow. Yikes.
May have been slightly above the belt, but I don't know. That looked pretty good from here.
Boy, oh boy. Strike zone just got squeezed here in the 9th inning. 2 balls and a strike to Jones. I don't know where he can throw it now. And he had to throw it right down the middle, and Jones crushed it. Back goes Adam Heisler. He's not going to get there. Jones is going to go to 3rd. And he'll make it, well, he could have made it standing up. He doesn't. It's a triple. He had to come in with something right down the middle to get a strike, because he'd thrown 2 down the middle that were balls, and John Jones was waiting
just
for that
crushed.
one.
Heisler was playing in because there have been so many singles. That's crushed over his head, and great hustle by Jones. 2 extra base hits in the contest for Jones to go along with those 2 ribbies. Not a bad little afternoon. 4 for 4 with a walk.
He's been tremendous, John Jones. But he got a fat fastball from Highland Peguero because he had laid off 2 fat fastballs that were called balls. The infield is in for the number 4 hitter, Michael Vaughn. First pitch misses, ball 1. Peguero delivers. That misses low. 2 balls and no strikes.
Goldeyes going to play the infield in. Can't afford another run here in the 9th.
Two balls and no strikes to Vaughn. That one's in there for a strike. The Bronx cheer from the crowd at Shaw Park. Pitch by Peguero. There's a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Solid single to center and an RBI. Puts another run on the board. That makes it 8-4 for Gary, as Peguero gets tagged for a triple and a single here in the 9th inning. And the 4-run lead is restored by the RailCats. I think Peguero was shaken by those 2 pitches that were right down the middle.
Frustrated
and
sure.
called balls, and he has not been the same pitcher since then.
Again, you got to give the RailCats credit again. Scott, 13 hits in the contest and counting.
41 hits in 2 nights. Here's Peguero's pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 1.
Again, the oddity, only 2 extra base hits, both of which were supplied by John Jones. And also, they took advantage of the walks and the 2 errors as well, not to mention the pass ball that led to 2 runs. A lot of self-inflicted wounds here for the Goldeyes this evening.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Highland Peguero. An off-speed pitch, changeup down.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts. Singles, walks, errors, pass balls, all of which have turned into runs.
2 balls and a strike to Adam Taylor.
Pagero looked a bit frustrated after that pitch as well.
One thing is certain, you keep calling strikes balls, we'll lengthen the game enough to have a great fireworks show. Pitch is high, 3-1. Pagero's frustrated, obviously. He can't find a spot that's a strike unless it's right down the center of the plate, and those 2 pitches have been hit hard. Runner at first, nobody out. Here's the pitch. The slider is in the dirt, ball 4. Pagero walks Adam Taylor. Puts runners at first and second with nobody out and brings up Michael Schroeder. So Highland Pagero, a very frustrated closer for the Goldeyes, now finds himself in more trouble with runners at first and second, nobody out. And the left-handed hitting Michael Schroeder at the plate. Schroeder has a single in 4 trips tonight. Here's Pagero's pitch. He misses. And Babineau's going to come up and have a
Gonna try to
chat
calm
with
him
his
down
pitcher.
here. It's just he's frustrated, having trouble finding it. Needs to throw something down in the zone to try to get induce a ground ball that could lead to a double play.
Luis Allen's going to go over and have a chat with him.
A little bit of Spanish being spoken in that
Probably.
conversation, guessing.
Here's the pitch by Pagero. That's high. 2 balls and no strikes.
A lot of grandstand umpires this evening.
There are. Some paying customers unhappy. Pagero's pitch is fouled off. 2-1. Matter of fact, a lot of paying customers tonight unhappy.
Foul ball would have been pretty close to the truck, I believe.
The runner at second is Vaughn. The runner at first is Taylor. Schroeder's at the plate. Nobody out. A run already in here in the 9th inning. Pagero delivers. That's in there for a strike. 2-2, the count to Schroeder. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled straight back.
Pagero seems to have found the release point now.
Goldeyes at double play depth. Harther hugging the line at third base. Pagero gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And that's strike 3. There was an interesting response from home plate umpire Stegner, but it was a strike.
Certainly a lot of reaction.
Wow.
Looked like that might have been low, but after calling the 2 low strikes on Mazzola, the umpire has to call that a strike for the sake of consistency.
So that's the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Roger Bernal, who's had a very nice night. A run scored and a single in 4 trips for the number 7 hitter in the lineup. The slider is in there for a strike. Pagero gets ahead. He needed that strikeout.
Sure did.
Get a bit of confidence back.
And he quickly flips a slider in there.
That pitch is in there. 2 quick strikes from Highland Pagero.
When the corners are being called, it's a lot easier as a pitcher.
out. It is.
Even the borderline ones.
Piguero kicks, delivers, and it's chopped foul.
It's a good job to get a piece of that pitch right there.
That was a great pitch from Piguero. Greider and Boyer double play depth. Arthur hugs the line. Allen off the line at first base. Outfield is straight away for Bernal. Here's the pitch. It's low. A ball and 2 strikes to Roger Bernal. Sam Lind, the walking man, coming up next. 2 walks, 2 runs scored for Sam Lind tonight.
Got himself a nice little ball game. At the bottom of the order.
One and 2 the count. Here's the pitch. It's fouled off onto the street.
It's been an odd year for the pitching, Scott. Goldeyes starters going into the contest a 4.93 earned run average, but a 5.71 ERA at home.
Piguero checks the runner. Here's the pitch, and it's grounded back up the middle. Boyer makes the play, and Casio Greider runs by him. There's nobody at second base, and now the bases are loaded. It'll be an infield single for Roger Bernal, his second hit of the game. Another single, 14th hit of the night, 12 singles.
Good hustle all around. Nothing really Greider could do. At first, he thought he might have to play this one, then try to get it to first. Boyer does a nice job of backhanding it, but the only play he had was the flip out of the glove. But because of Greider's momentum took him all the way across the bag, there's nobody there. That's no way of Greider knowing that Boyer could get across on the backhand.
So the bases are loaded on another infield single, and here comes Lind. Pitch by Piguero is way outside for ball 1.
And after dealing with that abdominal injury, for Greider to try to put the brakes
There
on
was nothing
and
he
get
could
back
do.
to the
Nothing
bag.
Casio could do. And Bernal has pretty good speed. He'd beaten it out anyway. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lind. Lind struck out in the 8th against Rhett Varner, who just fed him a pile of 95-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Some drizzle.
Little drizzle, starting to rain. Who'd have thought? There's a fly ball. It's foul. Robinson going over. He won't get there. It'll be out of play. 1 and 2 the count now to Sam Lind. Youngster with a souvenir. He's got a couple of balls there. He's having a good night. Yeah, give it to your brother.
Oh. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. I don't know whether it's his brother or not, but just the kid in the front row. Yeah, good guy. 1 and 2 the count to a pinch hitter, Jose Serna.
Oh, indeed. Just finishing the thought of the pitching. Goldeyes 11th in the American Association in pitching at the 4.92 earned run average, but had 321 strikeouts coming into the game, which left them 5th.
Where'd the rain come from? There's a line shot into center field. Heisler will not get it. The run will score from third base to make it 9-4. Bases will remain loaded. Sermo gets the run batted in. 2 runs here in this 9th inning. Bases are still loaded. 13th single, 15th hit, 43 hits in 2 nights, 50 hits in 3 games.
It's a lot of lumber company going on right there. For a team that's not exactly known for lighting up the scoreboard.
The rain is really starting to come down now. Here's Piguero's pitch. It's in there for strike 1. So Arthur, for this number 9 hitter, Ryan Brockett, is almost on top of him. He's on the grass. So is Allen at first. 9-4 now. Paguero's pitch is outside. And we have another relief pitcher up in the Goldeyes bullpen.
Pope.
It's Mark Pope. Pope pitched last night. Paguero getting about to the end of the number of pitches that he'll throw in a game. This has been a long inning for the closer.
He'd be fairly happy with a hard hit ball at one of his infielders.
I think he would. One and two, the count to Brockett. Paguero's pitch is right down the middle. A gorgeous slider gets Brockett looking for the second out. 2 away, and now you got J.D. Pulford.
Yeah, certainly not out of the woodwork quite yet here. Slider with some good bend.
Oh, that was an outstanding pitch.
Really good movement on that one.
Outstanding pitch by Paguero.
Pulford's
So
got
2
his,
away.
Putting his perfect, or one of his pretty solid day overall on the line here.
Single in the first, ground out to short in the second, single in the fourth, single in the sixth, walk in the eighth, 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. It's the pitch by Paguero, and it's right down the middle, and that slider again.
Yeah, he's got the slider biting now.
It's really starting to rain, coming straight down as the crowd heads underneath to the concourse. Another slider in there for a strike. 2 beautiful pitches, 3 in a row from Paguero.
Only way you hit his slider is if it flattens out and he makes a mistake with it, leaves it up in the zone.
Two strikes to Pulford. Here's the pitch. There it is again, outside. One ball and 2 strikes to Pulford. Bases loaded, 2 away. 2 runs in here in the ninth. It's 9-4 now for Gary. Paguero delivers. And that's in there for strike 3. Paguero ends up striking out the side, gets the last 2 guys looking. He got all 3 of them looking, as a matter of fact, but gave up 2 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 more hits. There were no errors and 3 men left on base. Remember, tonight at the ballpark, Archangel Fireworks is presented by Progressive Waste Solutions. They bring you the fireworks here at the ballpark every fireworks night. The Goldeyes trail at 9-4. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. It's Goldeyes baseball on Shaw TV.
Be part of our show. Join the conversation, share your photos, or ask the Goldeyes a question. Follow us at Shaw TV Winnipeg and hashtag Let's Play WPG. At Shaw TV, we are proud to bring you live events, and we value your comments. Call the Shaw TV viewer response line now, 204-480-3500, or email us, shawtvwinnipeg@shaw.ca, and let us know how we're doing. Or find us on Facebook and Twitter at Shaw TV Winnipeg.
Back at the ballpark, the folks in the concourse hanging around for the fireworks tonight as the rain continues to come down. It was gorgeous tonight, and then it just kind of started, as these things do. We have a new pitcher for the Gary SouthShore RailCats. Tell us about Andy Loomis.
Andy Loomis, the left-hander, Scott, coming on for the 21st time. That leaves him second on the team in appearances. 23 and 2/3 innings pitched, 18 hits surrendered, 6 runs, 3 of which were earned. 8 walks, 24 strikeouts. He's got 12 saves on the season. He's got a 1.14 earned run average. Pretty solid season so far.
He's pretty good. One of the top closers in the league. Certainly one of the top 3.
And you don't get a lot of left-handed closers.
You don't. But Loomis is a good one. So we go to the bottom of the ninth for the Goldeyes. It'll be the bottom of the order. Ryan Babineau, Nick Jackson, Chris Robinson, Luis Allen. Of course, the bottom of the order has put up 2 runs of the 4 for the Goldeyes tonight. 9 runs, 16 hits, and no errors for the Gary SouthShore RailCats. 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Goldeyes. Rain has slowed dramatically. Here's the first pitch by Loomis. Misses outside for ball 1. Ryan Babineau tonight is 0 for 3. He grounded out to the third baseman in the second, flied out to right in the fourth, and flied out to left in the sixth. It's Loomis's pitch. That catches the corner for a strike.
Good late movement on that pitch from the left-hander.
Loomis is way outside. 2 balls and a strike to Ryan Babineau.
Loomis from Crown Point, Indiana, went to Purdue. Boilermaker.
Big Ten baseball's pretty good. 2-1 the count. Babineau delivers. That misses. 3-1.
Hasn't worked since July 13th, Scott.
Did I say Babineau delivers? He hasn't delivered yet. Loomis delivers. Babineau waits. 3-1 the count.
Loomis hasn't worked since getting the save against Sioux Falls on July 13th.
There's a pitch in there for a strike. Inside corner. 3-2 now to Ryan Babineau. Nick Jackson in the on-deck circle. Andy Loomis gets the sign from Michael Vaughn. Here's the pitch. And there's a ground ball foul.
Good reaction by Matt Jackson to get out of the way in the dugout.
(9-4). Gary leads it. They won last night 14-7. Goldeyes had a tremendous night on Wednesday night, winning at 5-2. As Babineau gets his new bat after he broke it on that foul ball.
Another broken bat.
A lot tonight. Bad bats or just great pitching?
A lot of good pitching. A lot of guys getting sawed off out there.
3-2 the count to Babineau. Here's Loomis. Here's the pitch. And there's a fly ball foul. Out of play. Count remains full, 3-2. Babineau stays alive. Loomis tries to close it out here for Gary in the ninth. There's the pitch, and it's high and outside. Babineau draws a walk. When you're down by 5, what you need the most are base runners.
Yeah, you gotta have patience at the plate. No 5-run homers available, but Goldeyes got to try to chip away, see what they can do here.
Nick Jackson back for his first game since missing about 5 weeks with an injury. 0 for 3. But he looks close. It looks like the timing is almost there. First pitch is low for ball 1.
Well, he worked really hard to get back into the lineup again, for sure. Eager to be back in there and contribute during the stretch drive here. Hasn't played since June 23rd. Ace Walker night, where he was 1 for 3.
There's a long fly ball into right field. It is deep onto the track. It is gone. Nick Jackson gets the 2 runs back with 1 swing of the bat. And in his first game back from more than a month off with injury, Nick Jackson gets the Goldeyes within 3. A 2-run bomb by Jackson. Home run number 4 this season, and this home run is brought to you by Home Run Sports at 20W Seigneurie Boulevard in St. Vital. Home Run Sports bringing home runs all season long. Kenny, you got all of this.
Absolutely. Again, in his last at bat, he got robbed by good positioning. This time he gets what looks to be like a hanging curveball, and his timing was perfect, and he drilled it over the head of Drew Martinez for a 2-run shot that makes it a 3-run ball game.
So Gary put up 2 in the top of the ninth, and with 1 swing, Jackson gets it back. So it's 9-6, 10 hits now for the Goldeyes. Loomis facing Chris Robinson. It's 1-1 to Robinson. Loomis doesn't give up very many runs, a 1.14 ERA heading into tonight.
What got him in trouble?
A walk.
Lead-off walk.
Every time. Pitch to Robinson. He tried to bunt his way on base, missed it. So Loomis gives up the home run to Jackson to make it 9-6.
But again, if you don't give up those 2 runs, I know it's a completely different situation. Maybe it's pitched differently, but again, the Goldeyes just were not able to stop the bleeding throughout this contest.
There's a broken bat ground ball. Robinson hustling, and he'll get there. It'll be an infield single, a broken bat base hit for Chris Robinson. First hit of the night. Second time on base, he has already walked and scored a run. Another broken bat, Kenny.
Yeah, almost took out Loomis, in fact. Jose Sermo came on for Sam Lind. Tries to barehanded, but looks up to first base before he's able to secure the baseball, and it leads to an infield single. That's very odd. We see this all the time. Closer comes in a non-save situation, and he's just not quite as sharp as he would normally be. But obviously Greg Taggart wants to go to him, knowing the importance of trying to stockpile victories in the second half. Now we're going to see if Loomis can find his form here with none out.
First pitch to Luis Allen, high and outside, ball 1. Adam Heisler, the top of the order, into the on-deck circle. So the Goldeyes get a walk and a home run and an infield hit from their 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters. So Luis, who has a home run already tonight, a solo shot back in the 3rd. Robinson at first, nobody out. There's Loomis's pitch, and there's a shot the other way. And you could tell the way Luis came up. He sees that huge hole between first and second with Sermo playing almost on second base. And you know he wanted to let something get back into the into home plate. Try to go the other way with it.
Definitely a lot of open territory there between first and second.
There's actually a lot between third and shortstop, because
right
the third baseman Bernal is on the line, and they are playing Luis Allen right up the middle. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike to Luis. So a hitter's count now. There's that patio deck behind Chris Robinson. It has been immensely popular this season. Sold out almost every night. Certainly a lot more popular than the berm was.
Actually a bit surprised the RailCats are even holding on the base runner here. That runner at first means really nothing.
Here's the pitch by Loomis. It misses outside. 3-1. Now Loomis isn't very happy. Loomis unhappy with the strike zone.
Neither side, let's be honest, neither side has been happy.
He looks out to right field, and it's 3-1 to Luis. Loomis delivers, and that's in there for a strike.
Smart pitch by Loomis. Knew that Allen would be looking for something out over the plate. Busts him inside with the fastball in on his hands.
So the count's full, 3-2 to Luis Allen. Here's the pitch by Loomis. And that misses for ball 4. And Luis Allen draws a walk. Andy Loomis very unhappy with that call. Nevertheless, here comes Greg Taggart to have a chat with Andy Loomis. We're going to have a pinch runner for Luis.
Let's have a look at where this pitch was. The 3-2 slider. Well, it's down, no doubt about it. Nothing to complain about on that one. Allen does his job getting on base. Robbie Spencer comes off the bench for the Goldeyes as the pinch runner. And the tying run comes to the plate in the person of Adam Heisler.
Did you think you would see that? After 2 runs were put up by Gary in the top of the 9th, it looked like this one was just about done. And then Nick Jackson does what Nick Jackson is capable of doing, hitting a 2-run homer to get those 2 runs back. And now the Goldeyes have runners at first and second. Heisler at the plate. Tying run at the plate, and the winning run is now in the on-deck circle.
If you consider the bunt here, again, you're down by 3. I mean, a bunt for a hit.
With his speed,
a bunt for a hit, not for a sacrifice.
With his speed, I would. Here's the first pitch to Heisler, and it's in there for a strike. Good off-speed pitch by Andy Loomis.
Just seems like Schroeder's playing back at first. You might be able to drag it, and then with a left-handed pitcher, if you could drag it past the mound on the first base side.
Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 2. He's not going to square now.
He's found himself in a
2
big
good
hole.
pitches by Loomis. The key now is don't hit a ground ball.
Yes, he does have that extra base hit potential too. He has had the leadoff double in the contest.
Here's the pitch. Foul back. Heisler stays alive.
Good slider there.
Late
Good
break
bite.
on that slider. Yep. (9-6). Gary leads it. It was 9-4 starting this 9th inning. Jackson's 2-run homer made it 9-6, and now the Goldeyes have 2 on and nobody out. But Andy Loomis, one of the best closers in the league, is on the mound, and he doesn't like the base runners. Babineau, or rather Chris Robinson, is out at second. Robbie Spencer, the pinch runner, is at first. Here's the pitch. There's a chopper. This is going to be a tough play for Cerno with the speed of Heisler, and he's safe. He beat it out. Heisler's speed beat it out. And now the Goldeyes have the bases loaded. Back to back. Infield single, walk infield single.
Jose Cerno, I think he took too much time here. He's sort of sitting back. He does charge the ball, but on the flip to first, ooh, it's very...
Boy, that was close. And again...
Great speed. Boy, oh boy.
Heisler shows his tremendous speed. That was a close play, a bang play.
I think he might have had him.
But now the bases are loaded for Greider.
My initial reaction is that he had him, but again, bang play, tied to the runner. It almost seemed like that's what the umpire was thinking.
So bases loaded, nobody out. Greider at the plate. Here's the pitch way outside, mishandled by Michael Vaughn.
Again, Goldeyes have done everything you can ask when you go into the 9th inning down by 5 runs. First, you need base runners. You need to show some pop. Nick Jackson takes care of that. Goldeyes have had a pretty good eye, several of the players. Put the ball in play, put the pressure on the defense. Next thing you know, you got the tying run at first base with nobody out.
Greider comes in hitting .323. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to shortstop. This is a double play ball. Greider flying down the line, and he beats it. Boy, Schroeder's unhappy at first base, but that speed at the top of the lineup. The Goldeyes get another run. They make it 9-7. That's the first out of the inning. Greider beats it out on the fielder's choice. Heisler's out at second base.
Again, and I think it's hit too softly for a double play ball with the guy with the speed of Greider. Decent turn, but...
Yeah, he beat it.
Yeah, throw in the dirt. If the throw is in the air, I think he gets him, but because he bounced the throw, he was able to beat it out with the speed of Greider.
Runners on the corners now for Harther. Here's the pitch. It's a chopper up the middle. Tough play. Oh, and a dandy play by Brockett. Harther is thrown out at first for the second out. The Goldeyes put another run up, and they make it 9-8. Harther gets another RBI, his third of the night.
And Greider with the great speed at second. You'd have to think he'll be able to score in a single if the Goldeyes can manufacture anything else. Harther puts the ball on the ground. A lot of top spin. Really good play. And again, because of the speed of Greider, there was no play at second. A really heads-up play by Ryan Brockett to get Harther at first, because there was no force play available to him at second.
Well, the leading home run hitter in the league is up to face Loomis, and the first pitch is low for ball 1. Josh Mazzola has 12 home runs this year. He is 0 for 4 in this ball game. A pop to first, a line out to left field, and a couple of strikeouts. But now he has a runner in scoring position, a 9-8 ball game. And here's Loomis's pitch. And that's low and inside for ball 2. 2-0. Brad Boyer in the on-deck circle.
Yeah,
Should Mazzola get on?
If I'm Taggart right here, I don't run the risk of, right now it's a fastball count. I don't think you could afford to throw a fastball to the guy leading the league in homers when you got a lefty-lefty matchup potentially on deck.
Pitch is high and outside. Ball 3, 3-0 to Mazzola. You're right. They're probably going to walk Mazzola now and face the left-handed hitting Boyer to have that lefty-lefty matchup.
Greg Taggart just said, use your head. He pointed to his brain right there and said, don't make a mistake here. He's going to have the green light.
It's on the corner for a strike, 3-1.
Again, smart take. For Mazzola, he's got to get something over the plate that he can pull and try to yank out of the yard. All he needs here is a single, but as an RBI run producer, if you get something you think you can drive out of the ballpark, you're going to come out of the shoes with it.
Here's the pitch, and that's in there for strike 2.
Good pitch by Loomis, really good pitch.
So now we have a 3-2 count. 9-8 ball game, runner at second, Mazzola at the plate. This is baseball, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Loomis kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss! He struck him out. Third straight strikeout for Mazzola, and that does it, but what a ball game. The Goldeyes got a runner in scoring position, got it to 9-8 with 4 runs in the 9th. We'll have another look at this final strike.
This is why Andy Loomis is one of the top closers in the game right there. A slider that just ties up Mazzola. Had the cojones, if you will, to throw the slider 3-2. Mazzola probably looking for a fastball, and he rings him up in just a critical situation. Great job by Loomis to record the final out via strikeout.
9-8 the final score, 9 runs, 15 hits, no errors for the Gary SouthShore RailCats. 8 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Goldeyes. The winning pitcher is Charlie Rosario. The losing pitcher, Kobe Cogill. And Andy Loomis finally gets them out in that 9th inning. And what a 9th inning it was. We'll be back with the Shaw On Demand post-game show right after this. You're watching Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
You're watching Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Shaw TV.
Ready for summer? If you have a cottage or cabin, Shaw Direct has your family's entertainment covered. For a limited time, you can add Shaw Direct satellite TV to your vacation home and get 50% off our most popular programming packages. Got a cottage or cabin? Get Shaw Direct satellite TV today.
Catch the excitement of Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball live from Shaw Park on Shaw TV Channel 9. Go to shawtv.ca/Winnipeg for the complete telecast schedule. Friday, July 31st at 7, your Goldeyes play the Amarillo Thunderheads. Let's play.
Welcome everybody to the Shaw On Demand postgame show. Scott Taylor and Ken Wiebe. A tremendous baseball game tonight. The Winnipeg Goldeyes fall 1 run short. They lose at 9-8, but they score 4 runs in the 9th inning to make it really, really exciting. Before we get into the ball game, let's go down to field level for our Shaw On Demand player of the game with Mike Valente. Mike, you have our player of the game.
Here with our Shaw Direct player of the game, John Jones, 4 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. What did you think, John, of your performance tonight?
It was a good performance, much needed, especially for myself. I've been hitting the ball well all year, and you know how baseball is, it's tough. But today they just, found the grass, found holes, and I'm glad to help the team win.
You guys had 15 hits tonight, 28 last night. Do you finally start feeling like maybe this club is building a little bit of momentum right now?
Yeah, definitely. It's we're playing great as a team. We had 2 weeks where at the 5th inning we had no hits for a while, but that's baseball. We come to work every day ready to prepare, and it's showing right now.
In the 9th inning there, the Goldeyes gave you a bit of a scare, but maybe just a comment on your defense.
Whoa, I mean, hey, like I said, it's a crazy game. You know, I've seen that happen before, but you can't panic, and you just got to trust your stuff, and I'm glad Loomis came out of that.
Thank you very much, John. Enjoy the night.
Appreciate it.
Back to you, Scott.
Thank you very much, Mike Valente, with John Jones, and thanks to John Jones for that. That's your Shaw Direct player of the game. Kenny Wiebe, A tremendous ball game tonight, a tremendous ball game all around, but you got to give the Goldeyes a lot of credit for not giving up.
Well, it certainly looked like the situation where you could easily pack up the tent and say, well, let's try to get them tomorrow down 5 runs. But again, you put the tying run in scoring position with the leading home run hitter in the league. Great at bat overall, but Loomis just made an outstanding pitch of that slider on 3-2 to get the ride.
Time now, Kenny, for our Shaw Go, a play of the game. What's our play of the game?
So back to the 5th, the Goldeyes had cut it to 4-3, and John Jones steps to the plate, and he absolutely crushes one down the line for a 2 RBI shot, which really kind of extended the lead. It got him to 7-3, and that really gave him the cushion that they kind of, as it turns out, really needed. Really good job by Jones, who supplied the double in that situation, and he was the only player for the RailCats to have an extra base hit, and he had 2 of them.
So John Jones, with that double, our Shaw Go Winnipeg play of the game. Ken, it was fun to be at the ballpark tonight. It was a fun game. The final numbers, 9 runs on 15 hits. Again, no errors. Goldeyes, 8 runs on 12 hits. They made 2 errors. Walks hurt them. Singles hurt them. But the Goldeyes didn't give up, and I think that was the key to the ballgame.
No question. They've had 26 hits now in the last 2 games and no wins to show for it. So that's obviously
15 runs on 26 hits.
Demoralizing to a certain degree. But again, for a team that's offense has been a little bit up and down, that's something you can try to build on, maybe to try to even up the series here tomorrow
But as
night.
Rick Forney has said all year, it's been starting pitching, and they just didn't have the starting pitching tonight. Kobe Cogill calmed down, got a little bit better after he got down 4-1. But they just couldn't hold it.
Right, and they had the defensive blows. They had a couple of base running miscues as well. And again, that wild pitch that led to 2 runs. You just don't see that very often. That was just a bit of a sloppy play overall. A bit of a tough break that hit the umpire's mask and went to the screen, and Babineau couldn't find it. But again, just that whole litany of errors and self-inflicted wounds ended up being what hurt the Goldeyes at the end, even though they made it interesting in the 9th.
They certainly did make it interesting with 4 runs in the 9th, but the Goldeyes lose it 9-8. The Goldeyes fall to 22 and 30 on the season. The final score once again, Gary SouthShore RailCats 9, Winnipeg Goldeyes 8. I'm Scott Taylor. That's Ken Wiebe. On behalf of the crew and everybody else here, Mike Valente, take us home.
Thanks very much, Scott. What a night here at Shaw Park. This was quite the game, back and forth all game long, and with the Goldeyes coming oh so close there in the 9th inning. Once again, the final score 9-8 for the Gary SouthShore RailCats. This series will conclude tomorrow night right here at Shaw Park. You can visit goldeyes.com for more information. For the entire Shaw Mobile crew, Scott Taylor, Ken Wiebe, and all of our great friends here at Shaw Park, so long. We'll see you next time.